Alright, hello. We are actually live this time, not like that fake going live that the people on Discord heard. This is real live. And now we're going live with part 20 of our Minecraft Let's Play. I mean, we can watch Star Trek at the same time, but, I thought I might just get some... Oh, I hit... Do I have the... Oh, no, I have the auto jump in, because I just reinstalled... Oh, no, that's awful. No, how do I get rid of the auto jump? Get rid of that. Mouse auto jump off. No, screw that. I jump on my own terms, thank you. Exactly. Because, I mean, that just screwed me over. You guys saw I lost valuable seconds when it made me jump when I was harvesting this tree, and my mouse went off the block I was harvesting. Will, why are you streaming in the Discord? Are you streaming my stream? What are you doing over there? And the people in the YouTube chat won't be able to see this, but someone in the Discord is streaming their own thing. Hang on, let me click over. Let me see what's up. Oh, he's streaming Minecraft. Okay. We're doing double Minecraft. I don't know if I can get it over so you guys can see it on the YouTube, but yeah. Why is everything always broken? Speak input. Okay, you should be able to hear them now. That should be fine. We fixed it. Probably. Hypothetically.
The communication channel's open.
Yes. Hailing frequencies open, eh? No. Alright, I don't need that much wood. I just need enough to make like a, what's it called? It's a pickaxe. Crafting table and a pickaxe. This looks like an okay place to start harvesting stone. We're gonna be pretty close to, probably like just 2 blocks down. No, not 2. 3? 3. There's some stone there. We don't necessarily want to start digging there. Ideally, we want to look for like a cliff or something. I don't know why it's so stuttery. I mean, I'm not doing that much intensive stuff. I'm just streaming. It's not that big a deal. Apparently, YouTube doesn't
look like it's stuttering. Doesn't look like it's stuttering to me.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'd rather it not stutter on stream than not stutter for me. So I guess that works out.
Your voice is
not
a little
stuttering
bit
on
shaky.
my end.
My voice what?
Is a little
I said
bit
it's
like
not stuttering.
it's not.
It's stuttering on my end.
No, you
Kevin
sound
said
like
it's not
you're in a
stuttering.
little bit of a tunnel now, Ryan, for some reason.
Or more like it's a radio AM broadcast rather than an FM or a CD quality.
A radio FM? How?
AM,
People in the
AM,
how do I sound to
radio.
people on YouTube?
No, Ryan. I said you sound good to me. I said you're not stuttering on my end. Meaning, you sound good to me.
No,
You
he's
sound
not
fine.
talking to you, Kevin. He's talking to Anam.
Yeah, I mean, I can hear you, and if you read Shakespeare, I'd be able to understand everything. I'm just saying, it's like, are you on talk radio or something?
How does my voice sound to everyone else? Faint Signal says I sound fine on stream, so does Elizabeth. How about other people in Discord?
You're fine. It's acceptable. There's a little tiny bit of like metallic,
Distortion.
tiny bit.
Yeah, it sounds like you're in a bathroom a little bit. That's
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
Agreed.
All right, let me just talk
Little
to
bit.
myself to the stream, and I can listen to it back. Hello, yes, I'm talking to the stream.
On the
Okay, yeah,
stream,
it sounds
you
great on
great.
YouTube. Relatively
Yeah,
speaking.
the YouTube sounds great. You sound
Maybe-
different on Discord for some reason.
Maybe it's just because my Minecraft is breaking everything, making me all stuttery and using up my stuff. How about now?
Little
Sounds
better.
a little better. Talk a little more.
A little better.
Hello, yes. To be or not to be, that is the question, whether 'tis noble in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of
Much.
outrageous
Yeah,
voice.
that
This is the only
sounds nice.
Shakespeare passage I know that's really long, so I'm going to keep using it.
Well,
I'm louder
Beverly's
than
the
everyone
soul.
else, that's fine. I can just turn myself down a little
Oh,
bit.
you got really good there for a second, and then you sounded worse again.
Okay. I mean, as
Sound
long as
like
I
in the
sound okay
bathroom.
on YouTube, I don't care about the rest of you guys. I just want it to be good on
Do you
stream.
have to delay the press play in, or are we okay?
No, we're good. We're gonna press play in 20 seconds. The first episode is going to be Ensign Row, Season 5, Episode 3. 15 seconds. Everybody get ready to press play. In 10 seconds now, we get that screen blurred. And press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. And yeah, if I need to adjust my volume more, you can just let me know and I'll fix that.
Hello.
Howdy.
Hey, Sud.
Oh.
Hey. Hey, guys.
Sorry I'm late. I forgot that you changed time earlier than us.
Yes.
Ryan didn't change time.
Very-
The world changed time.
That's going to be a problem every week for the next 6 months.
No, because we are changing time to just later.
Yes, but like some also US states just don't change time, and some countries don't.
Oh, yeah.
And now it's going to be confusing. But it's okay. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll be used to it by then.
So they still
Right.
have barbers in the future? Is that a thing?
Yeah, they still have barbers. I don't know why Captain Picard needs a
Yeah.
barber. It looks like he could just buzz it. It's really short anyway. But
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the gag. But Riker says
It's
he's the
lazy.
best barber in Starfleet. So basically, the show, it's hit its stride. The writers are just trolling us at this point.
Does Nam seem quiet to anyone else?
Yeah,
Very
I was just
much.
gonna say
Yeah,
that.
very much.
Nam, you gotta get closer to your mic or something, man.
I boosted
Yeah,
him on
there's-
my end, but yeah, that won't work for anyone else.
There's a little bit of quietness.
Is
There you go.
Michelle
Best barber
Forbes
in
doing
Star-
anything
There we go.
these days? What's Michelle doing?
She's on a show or something. She's always been working consistently. I was gonna say a little bit about her. She started off on Guiding Light as a soap actress, and she was in the season 4 episode Half a Life as Dara
Yep.
of TNG.
With her crazy
and,
hair.
yeah, and they liked her so much they brought her back for this, and she had kind of a nice run in the '90s. She was on an episode of Seinfeld, The Big Salad. She did some TV work. She was in the movie California with spelled with a K, which is really good. Swimming with Sharks, Escape from LA. So
Don't press
yeah,
skip
but
intro,
she's
by
been
the way.
working consistently.
She was in Homicide with the guy who could have played Picard, actually,
Oh yeah,
who just died. Yaphet Kotto turned down the
Who?
Picard role.
What's his name?
Yaphet Kotto.
I still
Yeah.
can't hear it. Alpha Kodo?
Yaphet
Kotto.
Kotto. He would have been an interesting Picard.
Somebody
I think
put
he
it
would have
in
been sort
the
of
chat
like
or
Cisco,
whatever.
only talking like Riker, basically.
So a little
I'll
bit
post
of
a
stream
link or
technical
something
stuff
on that.
for real quick. If anyone else wants to join the Discord, it is free for anyone to join. However, we do limit the number of people to 10. So if it's full, then there's a queue channel you can go into. And then after each episode, we'll cycle people through. Yeah, everybody's allowed in. Right now, there's one spot open. We might get Soma in. Soma said he wanted to join. We also saw Kargoth. Kargoth, are you going to be joining us on Discord? You just want to, look at it? You're free to join us if you would like. There is one spot. Maybe we should make maybe we should make a Minecraft server, because apparently people really like Minecraft. Not for streaming, just to have it. Do you guys want a Minecraft
idea.
server?
Hi, sorry. My microphone is wrong.
Oh, that sounds good now.
I think the Enterprise should have more blinking running lights. Maybe solid, but
You said Minecraft server, Ryan?
Yeah. I've got experience running a Minecraft server.
We get Jordy singing the song "I am something 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 animal and mineral vegetable."
Yes.
And
I am the very modern. I am the very model of a modern major general.
Yes. Which we also get Spock, Spock and number 1 singing. So that's
Ooh,
good.
ginger tea, ginger lemon tea. I love that.
Whoa! Did Admiral Kennelly just swear on my Star Trek?
And Wesley earlier said in season 1 that they don't have colds anymore.
Yeah, don't worry
Yeah, what
about
the
that.
fuck?
That's another retcon. Also, this isn't the common cold. This is a Cardassian cold. It's different.
it's very important later in the show.
It's the same as a regular cold, but when you take the cough medicine, you just take it out of a blue colored spoon.
That admiral's
Yes,
uniform.
exactly.
That admiral's uniform has the same sparkly trim that you would see on the special wedge on Wheel of Fortune.
Okay.
It's a trip to Mexico.
It kind of does.
I thought you were just going to refer to like other people who have worn it because I was remembering Admiral Thomas Henry from the Drumhead. He wears the same uniform, but no, the Wheel of Fortune that works too.
And we have terrorism in this episode.
We get our first look at the Bajorans.
Now, I want to be very clear that I'm not saying this is a thing that happens in real life a lot. Like, you could talk about the USS Maine or something. But this episode is all about a false flag.
False flag.
A false flag.
Yeah.
Do you want to break down what that is?
It's when
they're framing
a government...
They're framing a group. For a crime.
Like the Gulf of Tonkin incident for Vietnam, the Johnson administration said that the North Vietnamese were bombing a U.S. Carrier in the Gulf of Tonkin, and Congress authorized war on that basis, and it turned out nothing ever happened, so the whole Vietnam War was based on false pretenses.
Which isn't surprising the way it went. Yeah, basically, it's really easy to start a war if you can convince people that you were attacked for it first.
Blame the Maine on Spain.
Remember the Maine
episode.
Tippecanoe.
Because at that point it becomes self-defense.
Right.
It's really, really impossible to argue against self-defense.
Yeah, it's like, we had a terrorist attack, but we're sure it was done by X country. Can you prove it? Well, can you prove it wasn't them? No? Okay, then we're attacking.
Yeah. Even World War I was the result of the Zimmerman telegram, which they intercepted a telegram from Germany, the Kaiser, to Mexico, saying, we're going to blow up the U.S. ships. So the Lusitania was sunk, and that and the Zimmerman telegram allowed the U.S. entry into World War I. Yeah,
kind of like the false claim of weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. Kind of, a little bit different, because that might have just also been a little bit of stupidity instead of actual malice.
Yeah, it's a common trend.
Whoa, are you saying somebody...
I know it's Pearl Harbor.
Well, Pearl Harbor was definitely a real attack. That wasn't a false flag. That happened.
It was, but it was the thing which meant that America wanted to enter the war as a populace.
Yeah, don't worry about opening the can of worms here. Star Trek is a very political show. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Good. Yeah, so that's the can of worms, though. There are conspiracy theorists who think everything is a government false flag, and it's like,
Ryan Zenitz does not support false flag conspiracy theories around like school shootings. That those are bad things to have conspiracies about. Just like the USS Maine is what I'm going for here.
Yeah, Pearl Harbor was not an inside job.
No. Oh, there she is. Hey, Michelle.
Hey.
Michelle Forbes, who of course was offered the role of, what became the role of Kira on DS9, and they created Kira the character because Michelle Forbes turned down the role to have Ensign Rowe return. Unfortunately, I mean, the Null Visitor is pretty cool, but it would have been interesting to see Rowe show up.
Yeah, she's really a great character in this episode. It kind of goes off the Michael Barnum motif, is that like the officer who's court-martialed and like supposedly the worst officer in the fleet is actually a pretty stand-up person, and you would want them on your team.
Yeah, I was going to say Forbes, like I mentioned, was in a couple good movies at the start of the '90s there, and going for the film career initially looked probably like a pretty good idea as opposed to doing a Star Trek series. But I think in hindsight, she would have had DS9 instead.
I think she was a little afraid. I think she was a little afraid of getting typecast too.
That could be
potentially.
Yeah, she's an actress. I like whenever she shows up in anything. It's always it always brings her in for sure.
I don't think I've ever heard her say that she was afraid of getting typecast, but I think I heard that from Ron Moore, which seems like a pretty good source.
Oh, for sure. Right on.
This episode also has some concerning things about respecting cultural traditions of your officers, because they force her to take off her cultural earring, but they let Worf wear the sash, and I'm pretty sure we see other people wearing earrings.
Yeah, she sounds
that's a really good point.
It's tied to, sort of
they just hate
freedom, it has a political tie, sort of. So I think it's a little bit different, but yeah, still, it's a question of how much.
It's really about making the other crew comfortable with it.
It's really mostly about the fact that they're just being extra stringent with the rules for her because,
Right.
Yeah.
She's a bad apple.
It's another way to introduce conflict in the story.
Conflict among Starfleet officers? That's not Gene Roddenberry's vision of the future that I signed up for.
Yeah.
I like when you kind of see Starfleet policy, maybe cross a line here or there, because it isn't, obviously it's not a perfect system.
How many episodes does Ro appear in? Because I know she's not in the next one, but obviously these are not filmed in the exact same order. But she's in the one after this.
Yeah, she picked up a role on the Enterprise for a while.
8 episodes.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's a lot, because I only remember her from like 1, but because obviously this one is her title episode.
How many episodes?
8.
8. Okay.
Data just said a Class M planet. Is that a real astronomical term, or is that something that Star Trek
that's made up?
It's a thing made up for Star Trek. Yeah.
It specifically stands for Minshara class. I don't know what Minshara means. Maybe it was the name of the first planet they found in this system. I don't know.
Like Earth.
Also, M is like the middle letter of the
Earth-like.
alphabet, so it's like you would think it's just in the. Sorry, right? L is or M is? I forget. But it's kind of like I feel like it's like a habitable zone kind of thing.
English alphabet has 26 characters, so there's got to be 2 middle characters.
Okay, right.
Not 1.
True.
Yes, maybe eventually, once we get out further into space, we'll start using the term M-class planet. Just borrow it from Star Trek. It's
It
fine.
makes sense.
Well, we do have names for the different classes of the planet, I believe. It's a different system there.
Well, we have different names for different classes of stars, right?
We do have the letter names for classes of stars, but they're not in the same manner. Like, M is not a habitable system.
I believe the Sun is a G-type star. Main sequence G-type.
Yeah. Something like that.
It's a yellow dwarf.
It's a dwarf?
Yeah, it's a yellow dwarf.
Oh. Good old
I
soul.
mean, most stars are dwarfs. It's just that when you there's really the only 2 types, dwarf and giant. And giants are, they're real giant.
And then there's super giant too, and then there's super giant. So like Betelgeuse and all that.
O-type stars are usually very large and very bright. Those are usually blue ones.
Yeah.
If you see a blue star, it's usually O-type.
Unfortunately, I'm not paying any attention to the episode.
Don't worry, nothing's actually happened yet. They're just beaming down.
Yeah.
I've never seen
agree
before.
though.
That's with me too. Sometimes.
What you missed is that they had a meeting and they were going to talk to some Bajoran diplomat, and Ro told them that guy doesn't know shit. Go to this guy instead.
Also, there was a very important moment there where Ensign Ro took off her jacket. And the important part is there's apparently a zipper in the front that's just invisible. You can't see it. It just unzips.
Also, she has no sleeves, which...
Yeah.
Not anymore, she doesn't, because she took off her jacket.
It's hot.
Yeah, no sleeves on that one.
I don't think the guy's makeup looks that bad, but for some reason, in HD, her makeup looks super fake.
There's something really interesting that happens as soon as
they never intended it for HD. They just intended it to look good on the screen itself.
No, and that's you are 100% correct. Yeah, it's just funny in HD the things you notice.
I can't wait. Hopefully we eventually get DS9 Voyager in HD so we can find all the little imperfections that we were never supposed to see.
They would
maybe in our lifetime. Maybe in our lifetime, but I wouldn't hold my breath on that.
They would have to upscale it, I think.
Yeah, they'd have to. It's a huge undertaking. They talk about it a little bit in the DS9 documentary.
The cost is supposed to be like $15 million for a whole series. Yeah. Maybe 20.
Yeah, and the problem is with everything going to streaming, there's more profit in physical media, but with everything going to streaming, obviously it's just not selling as much.
We just need a very, very rich Star Trek fan to pay for it all.
Oh, yeah.
Like that guy who built the Enterprise office building in China.
Maybe we can all chip in. I'm in for like $50.
They would need a Kickstarter. I think that would probably be the first place to start. And then after that, say, HD DS9 streaming is exclusive to Paramount Plus.
Ryan could do it in 6 months, so I don't think we need to think that much. But
99 cents at a time.
I think but about the episode, there's something really funny. When they beam down to the planet, Picard says that the Bajorans were like a thriving civilization when human beings were just starting to walk upright, which is about 200,000 years ago, 600,000 years, which is an interesting time frame for evolution, because we're all supposed to have started at the same time. But that was an interesting line.
And it really makes me very uncertain about what the actual time frame of, or the technological level of the Bajorans before they were murdered by the Cardassians. I don't know if they were even spacefaring, other like FTL.
Well, E.C. Henry, I think it was E.C. Henry, did a video on the potential of them being the same species.
Yeah, but Bill, did you have something you wanted to add?
Yeah, when Ro was giving away her uniform shirt, Data was standing in the sunlight, and Brent Spiner was squinting like Picard is here, which for Data would be completely unnecessary. So that's out of character, actually.
Did he really say that the Bajorans were a thriving civilization when humans first started walking upright?
Yes.
Because, like, that is like humans started walking upright about 6 million years ago. That's a long time.
True. Yeah,
I think that's a mistake.
Like, Homo habilis.
I think that might have been hyperbole, but even so,
like the Bajoran civilization,
to even make that comparison.
Bajoran civilization is roughly 50,000 years old, if I remember correctly. Because like the city that Cisco finds, Bahala, in that one episode that's coming up, is only about 20,000
I believe we do find out that the humans on Earth weren't the first attempt by the original creators or whatever.
Yeah, the progenitors. But that's in a later episode, The Chase. So we didn't come up with that yet.
Yeah.
Wait, I just thought of something. I remember later in the episode, we're going to see a Bajoran transport. Bajorans use triangles.
Yeah.
We're probably going to see triangles.
Ready, kids.
The communicator's down a little bit on Ensign Road. It should be more higher up.
You're
You know, Picard's
It can go literally anywhere.
Yeah, speaking of Ro's outfit though, so as soon as she comes on board, she's just looked at as like the troublemaker, and like, and it's revealed to us later, she was court-martialed for being on an away mission in which like 9 crew members died, but she didn't even defend herself, and like, you know, she just took the punishment of being in jail, and basically like, and all the other officers are talking bad about her, like she shouldn't even be in Starfleet. I don't want her on this ship. I would never serve with her. And
they were so mad at her, they didn't even send her to beautiful New Zealand.
Right. And so it's like, they are just prejudging her to assume that she's like the worst thing in Starfleet. And she's really not.
Well, but I love that especially that line delivery there, where they ask if they can, do you mind if we join you? And she's like, yes. Like, she's a prickly pear herself. Like, this is a bit of a two-way street, but yeah, she's
true.
Oh, here comes
kind of just swoops in. So
Guinan knows how to deal with it.
It's yeah, just ignore whatever she says. And but it's revealed also later she had her father tortured and killed in front of her by Cardassians. So I'd have a chip on my shoulder too if I was under a brutal occupation.
Holy smokes!
The on that same vein, we've already had that line actually, where not that specific line, but the one where what was his name? The Bajoran they went and talked to on the surface was like, yeah, you guys are innocent bystanders while we were, being genocided. Didn't do anything to help. So screw you guys.
Right.
You're on your own.
Or I or something. Yeah.
Was his name Orat?
The guy on the planet, it was Keith Falor.
Keith Falor. Yeah, that's
the terrorist is Orton, I think.
Orton.
Or no, not Orton.
Yeah.
Orton's the guy from Starship Mine. I forget who the terrorist that they're looking for is named.
It's not important. Oh yeah, Orta.
Thank you.
Orta. Yeah, Ro's makeup looks really weird. The Bajoran nose is a lot different than everyone else's Bajoran nose.
And Picard's only response. Sorry.
Thank you.
So they have that extra bridge right above the eyebrows, and the ridges on the nose are actually a lot more
And there's
weird.
A vertical ridge where most Bajorans don't have one.
Yeah, Kira's nose is literally just like a Klingon forehead stuck right in the middle of her nose. This ridge is quite a bit different.
Yeah, it's not.
Klingons have a crinkly nose.
Kara has.
It looks like if you laid a scorpion down on her face and then covered it in makeup.
I'm gonna say it's kind of like a scorpion on her.
Yeah, it does kind of. I was thinking that myself. It looks like a miniature scorpion.
Yeah.
I think it's something of a dilemma in Star Trek, like to put alien makeup on an attractive woman. And I hate to put it like that, but that's definitely something the producers took into account because I know they totally redid the Dax makeup, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we talked about that recently.
Yeah, that was entirely for that reason.
Yeah, I was going to say last week or maybe the week before. No, it was last week. I think that was brought up. Yeah,
I think it was last week. Yeah.
Signal, I think Ro might actually be the first on-screen Bajoran because they haven't even decided they're called Bajorans yet.
They are. This is the. They say Bajora
yeah.
instead of Bajor or Bajoran. Yeah, it's this is the first Bajoran introduction.
Oh, what's interesting is the last name first thing. Chinese culture also uses that. You use the family name first.
And Japanese.
I think that's super interesting because I learned about that through.
Picard has his adventure jacket on.
I was gonna say I learned about that through baseball through Ichiro Suzuki.
Yeah, I watched Mulan and I learned that.
Yeah, I think that's fascinating.
This episode was my first exposure to American would be reverse name placement. No.
Oh, that there is the cave.
Yeah.
That's the cave from the episode Captain's Holiday where they dig up the Taxutat. We've seen it a few times by now.
It's really nice lighting.
Yeah, very dramatic.
Yeah.
It's almost like really it's a filming set.
And the guy on the planet says... Sorry, go ahead, Kevin.
Look like they're LED.
Yeah. The guy on the planet says
maintain tricorder security link there.
Tricorder security link.
The
issues with their tricorders getting hacked.
They probably learned from the TOS of just the security guards dying without any knowledge from the others. So as soon as they die, send out a signal probably.
Can we set up a security link on Data, just his whole body, and Geordi's visor?
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
The guy on the planet even says
Davidia too, yeah.
You honor me by using my last name, my first name, my real name, in the correct way when they first beam down. So it's and it just shows Ro she may come across as abrasive or cold or standoffish, but she's a good officer and she's helping Picard the whole time.
And the fact that this whole episode is about redeeming Ensign Ro makes it really weird the excuse that you can't redeem Nick Locarno when he did basically the same thing.
Oh.
Yeah, that whole thing about redeeming Nick Locarno is just garbage.
Captain the Valiant, wasn't he?
Who's Nick Locarno?
Tom Paris. Fake Paris.
Okay. I must have missed that one.
Yeah.
So they hired Robert Duncan McNeil to play Tom Paris on Voyager after he'd already played Nicholas Locarno in the episode where Wesley and the other cadets cover up
and he's just the same character.
Training accident.
Oh,
and he's essentially the same character.
Yeah, literally almost the exact same character with roughly the same backstory. And there's a whole
same character from Voyager, but different name.
There's a whole thing about how they didn't want to pay royalties to the person who created Nick Locarno, which is why they made Tom Paris, which is the only explanation that really makes sense. The explanation on the surface
and per the W. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
The explanation that comes out often is that they couldn't redeem Nick Locarno, which isn't true. You could absolutely redeem him.
Okay.
In canon. It makes no sense. It's also in WGA because he created a character. They would have had to give him a writing credit on every episode, which means they would have had to pay him for writing credit on every episode. So it's
major plot point.
It's a very complicated thing.
That terrorist attack was not the Bajora Orta is claiming. He's not taking responsibility for that.
And Rose set this up too. And she's in trouble again for trying to do her best duty. But interestingly, geopolitically, and I'm not going to say too much more about this. I studied the Israeli-Palestinian conflict a lot as a kid, and so their brutal occupation, it was probably like the Intifada and the peace accords were all like happening at the time. But less controversially, I feel like Admiral Kennelly kind of speaks to like an Irish name, and the IRA and the terrorist funding and stuff that went on there too. It kind of plays off. I just see Admiral Kennelly as an Irish guy.
In this context, he'd actually probably
is
be
Admiral
more
Kennelly George Bush and believing his advisors when they tell him that there's weapons somewhere in the Bajoran camps?
Well, that's a really good thing about this episode. It's not like an evil admiral like it always is. It's a moronic admiral, just an idiot.
Yeah, he's a patsy.
Yes.
Yeah. Picard calls him naive enough, you know? So yeah. At the end of the episode.
And this is, of course, the episode
The
where
interesting thing
Data
is that the
looks at,
Bajorans should never have done it.
That's really dumb, though. This guy is like, I don't know. I view him as somewhat evil, because it's like, you know what you're doing. You're helping people down their enemies. You don't have a dog in this fight. Like, you could just leave it alone, but you're actually putting your thumb on the scale as a superpower. And to me, that's kind of evil.
But he thinks he has a dog in the fight now.
Love the lighting on the scene on Ensign Row, and her shadow in the background is really fantastic. Wow.
I mean, is this the first time we've seen?
Go ahead.
Is this the first time we've seen Guinan anywhere but 10 forward?
No, she goes into her quarters in the episode Q Who, I think.
She's also in Picard's ready room in.
But there might be an Ensign Row. It's like a back.
That's right.
Oh, right. We're in season 5 now.
From when Picard gets taken by the Borg, turns into Locutus.
Yeah.
And
she's on the holodeck playing with Worf.
And in yesterday's Enterprise, she goes into the conference room.
But mostly 10
and on the bridge.
And even when talking about Sela in the Redemption, she's in the conference room saying,
We get it. Yeah, we get
it. That's what people can walk around a starship.
I'm sure on the pie chart, it's still like 85, 90% 10 forward, but yeah, she's been other spots.
Look, you asked a room full of Star Trek fans. Has Guinan ever been?
We have to list every time.
All our collective heads together.
Chronologically, she's been on Earth hanging out with Mark Twain. She's been in the Nexus. No, there's a lot of options here.
She was over in the Elorian system getting murdered by some Borg once.
She was in Sister Act.
Yeah.
She's on The View.
That's the most important part, Sister Act.
Movies.
Actually,
there's an outtake right here that I don't know if I'm actually going to do because it's weird, where she just bumps her hat against the door as she walks in because she's walking next to someone. There's not that much room. It's a big hat.
Yeah.
I've mentioned the hats before. I'll call them mushroom hats. I would think, like, Whoopi Goldberg is a funny person. She must have just thought this was hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She rocked it.
Yeah, and I've seen her on The View before.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, she's on The View.
Guided and 10 forward built for her.
She's actually a host for a show. She has
Academy Award-winning actress. She won Best Supporting Actress.
The Whoopi Goldberg show.
Yes.
In one of the
also hypothetically be appearing in Picard season 2.
Yeah, that should be interesting.
And when she was a kid, she grew up watching the original series, and she saw Nichelle Nichols on TV, and she was very inspired by the appearance of a black actress in a major role, leading role, more or less. So she's part of history.
Absolutely.
There's in the episode Rascals, where they all get transported to be 12-year-olds. The little girl who plays Guinan is also the little girl who played Whoopi Goldberg's character's flashback in a flashback in one of the Sister Act movies, which was at the same point in filming.
That's great. That's wow.
I really love Guinan's line when she's talking to Ro a few minutes ago when she goes, "I listen," because like most of the time, and then her other things like, "Well, you just made a friend," and it's like she broke the ice, and she with the ice pick.
Well, that's habit 5 of the 7 habits, I think, is to seek first to understand, then to be understood.
This right here is where Admiral Kennelly starts getting into evil territory, where he's offering actual weapons and ships to a terrorist organization.
Well, he has no plan on following through with that. He plans for the Cardassians to come and kill them all.
He does.
Well, that's still evil, isn't it?
That's kind of
absolutely.
Oh, yes, Iran-Contra comes to mind because the U.S. government, apparently not with the president's knowledge, but certainly we think with the vice president and Joint Chief of Staff knowledge, Oliver North, who had to resign, and Defense Secretary Casper Weinberger. But like Congress said you cannot fund Contra rebels, and so CIA sold weapons to Iran, and then they used that money to fund the Contra.
They pulled an Admiral Kennedy is what they did.
Yeah.
Well, plus they involve drug trafficking as well. I mean, it was a mess, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
But nobody went to jail.
Yeah.
So
of course they did.
It was weird. I think Casper Weinberger got a pardon, and Reagan said he didn't know anything, and George H.W. Bush said he didn't know anything. But he used to be head of the CIA, so he probably ran the whole thing.
Reagan said he didn't know anything is probably the only true statement he made during his entire administration.
I was going to say, I mean, at that point, yeah, George H.W. Bush was the point man for sure. I mean, he head of the CIA, he knew it. Well, we're getting off of Star Trek, so.
So do you guys know what's going to happen in a few minutes? Do you remember what's going to happen?
Yes.
Nope.
We're going to see a triangle. Okay, let me go ahead and bring that picture up on stream to distract from the torture story that Ensign Rowe is currently telling. It is a perfect fit. This hat. Thank you, Kay, for this wonderful image.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Looks like the Enterprise.
Yeah, nice.
Wonder if she likes it.
Jesus Christ.
She likes the hat by the Enterprise.
Well, I was going to say the scene is really intense. Yeah. Like it's the scene is a good demonstration of the value of getting high quality actors, even for episodic television.
Yeah. And she comes to Picard very humbly, and Picard like reciprocates her respect.
Well, she's guiding
good body language.
He has to listen to her.
Even better though is the scene when after everything goes down, Picard is like confronting Admiral Connolly in his ready room, and he's so skeptical. He has his like fingers up to his head, and he's like, "What?" And then the Admiral's like, "Yeah, why don't you just hand him over?" And he's like, the Admiral's so slick, and Picard knows what's up. He does it so great.
He tries to do the whole reverse psychology thing on Picard. It's like, well, if you think that's a good idea, I mean, it's up to you. I'm not trying to suggest anything.
Like you do in D&D.
Yeah. Yes. What do you mean? That guy's not evil. He's just using the black speech of Mordor. That's fine. Don't worry about it. You shouldn't do anything about it.
They always bring up her court-martial. Can they, leave that alone? You did the time. It doesn't have to follow you everywhere you go. We don't even know what happened.
Michelle here has not done the time. She's just been pulled out of prison for one mission.
Yeah.
Antares class cruiser. That's the one. That's the one we're looking for.
That's a name of a star, too. Super big star. And Ro comes up with the solution here. So she is not a bad officer. Stop maligning good people.
I mean, she pled guilty to getting 3 people killed, so there's something there.
She just didn't say anything in her defense.
Those 2 seats of helm and ops, are they supposed to be a fixed distance apart, or do they, here, they look really close together?
Look,
and
it's a triangle.
In wide shots, in diagonal shots, they look much farther apart.
Triangle.
I'm pretty sure that was a triangle. Yes, I'll wait until we get a better angle of it, and we are gonna get a better angle in just a minute.
The angle.
Triangle.
Triangle!
How is that Cardassian virus?
Triangle, that's 30. Okay, let me put the appropriate amount of triangles in chat. We have 5, 10. Nope. Okay. Why would you copy it like that? YouTube. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 12, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. There.
Oh,
That is how many triangles we have so far.
Okay, I'm spamming too.
Okay.
Oh my
Spam
god.
We're up to 30 triangles.
I was going to say referring to the cold as the Cardassian virus. Is that as bad as saying China virus? I don't know.
Oh.
The Frank Signal just said we need to triangle ship with a question mark on it as an emoji.
I mean, I like the idea. The issue is just that I don't think I have enough pixels in the emoji to pull it off.
It just impose a question mark over the.
The only display is 24 by 24.
Yeah, but just superimpose a question mark over it.
Oh, I could do that. Yeah, I was thinking over on top of, but superimposed over would be okay.
Yeah, you can put a stroke effect to make it a little bit easier to see.
Out of curiosity, is there an end game to all these triangles? Like, you can be like a triangle video.
Cardassian. You said Cardassian there.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
There's a lot of work involved for that because you got to go through 2 series like nonstop. So I don't think. I mean, Ryan is obsessed with triangle ships, but
now I want to be clear on the point that I'm not actually obsessed with the triangles. This is just a joke for the stream, but I do. It's a nice ship.
I don't know, man. Like we could be talking about the most interesting thing, and then if the triangle ship comes on the stream, it's just like you immediately notice it. So you like the back of your mind. You're always looking for it. I think like it's like a instinct for you at this point.
I'm sorry now, but that doesn't make any sense because the most interesting thing is a triangle.
It's the triangle.
Okay.
I think this Cardassian makeup looks a little off.
Yeah, it looks way tilted to the actor's right.
He's just... Actually, yeah, his head is just at an angle. The back of his head.
The mask looks like it
very
melted
odd shot
in storage or something.
I'm sorry
He
to
looks
cause
like
you
he has
offense,
a-
Goldalak.
He looks like he has
Look,
a very...
we spent 4 hours putting it on.
He
We're
is,
not going to start over. Just put him on screen. It's fine.
He looks like he's got an elongated face, like I expect him to be 7 feet tall.
Right.
On his ridge on his nose is so like wavery.
Yeah. Basically, he's a really bad guy.
I just really like the way that Captain Picard says Goldalak.
Yeah.
Like look from the point of his nose down to his lip, and it's completely off center. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Look,
he's a
he just
crooked guy, so
he
his
got in
face
an
is
accident. Don't worry about it.
Not everybody's perfect
maybe
either.
maybe
Don't
I'm
judge
hating
him.
on a guy who was born with a slight facial birth defect.
Yeah, come on. We don't pick on people's appearances here, including Cardassians.
Basically, if you
I
want
was
to
more
somebody-
shitting on the makeup department, so that's a different thing, you know.
That exterior shot there of the ships there, the Cardassian ships have this really warm earth tone, it looks really suddenly very, very warm and welcoming in comparison to the Federation gray.
True. But Picard has a skeptical face the whole time. Like, you gotta love Patrick Stewart every time he brings it. He brought 100% for this scene right here.
And also, I am not Signal. I am not, in fact, obsessed with Siddiq al-Tahir al-Fadl Abdulrahman Muhammad Ahmad Abdul Karim al-Makti. That's not true.
I think he missed it up there.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
You just have dreams about him.
Siddiq al-Tahir al-Fadl Abdulrahman Muhammad Ahmad Abdul Karim al-Makti.
That's better. That sounds better.
That's better. That's better.
That's the same thing.
And Picard blows up his spot over here. It's like, so let me tell you what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, you know about this.
You know, I've talked before about how I've been reading through Sherlock Holmes. This is literally how every Sherlock Holmes story ends. He goes to the villain of the story and explains every single detail of what they were plotting to do and then what they did and what the result was.
It's a reverse villain explanation.
So he holds up a mirror to their whole scheme.
And then they're always so shocked. It's like, oh, how did he figure it out? It's like you were there. It's like, I'm a detective. It's like, we get it,
Just a few
Sherlock.
more questions.
And like, by the way, this admiral's so evil. He was using Ro to set her up, and he was probably gonna like let her take the punishment or whatever for everything, because she was never supposed to tell Picard that she beamed down on his orders. So Picard says that could have been another court-martial or whatnot, and then they get in trouble for talking to terrorists. So he was gonna let Ro take the fall for the whole operation, and Picard.
So Lost Cosmonaut put in the Discord a picture of the Cardassian actor Frank Collison.
Yeah, that's just how his head is.
I feel bad.
That's just what he looks like.
Yeah.
Well, the lighting for this picture is in the from the side as well, so it's.
Look at his. Yeah, like his nose is off center. Like that's just the way his face is, and that's fine.
He makes a great alien then.
Yeah, it's like
that
it's
sounds
kind
like
of a smart
an
casting
insult.
decision.
Sorry.
I'm not sure it is an insult, but it sounds like one.
Look, like play to your strengths. Turn weakness into something you can parlay to help yourself move forward. I mean, shit, you know.
Look at Doug Jones. He was ridiculed for his unique physique. Now he's Saru and all manner of stuff.
I love Doug Jones.
Me too, man.
Doug Jones and Frank Collison do play great aliens, but I'm just thinking, like, if you went up to someone on the street, it's like, you look like you would be a good alien. It feels like that.
Yeah.
Context.
Well, you know how they found the voice for E.T.?
Did they ask for alien-sounding people?
Ben Burt, the sound director, was standing behind this elderly lady at the bank. And she had this very weird voice, and he struck up a conversation, and he was able to hire her.
Wow.
For the voice of E.T.
Love talking to elderly ladies at the grocery store. It's great.
Hey, you keep your air to yourself in the grocery stores these days.
Yeah, well, not these days. Yeah, let's be clear.
There we go. It was staged. A staged attack.
You gotta love Picard, because he's like, put it on the view screen, and Data's like, you mean in your ready room, because it's on a secure channel. Picard's like, no, this is gonna be right here in front of everybody.
Well, actually, what Data was doing right there was he turned
to Ensign live stream it
and did a rough sound.
He's going to live stream the. He's going to live stream the conversation to the whole Federation.
What's the 1 or 2 party consent rules in the Federation? Can you do that?
Yeah. For
I guess it's considered to sort of be public because there's so many people listening already. Also, I just realized we're on the wrong screen. We're not on the blurred screen. Have we ever been on the blurred screen instead of the info?
I don't remember.
We
it was earlier. I think you were okay until you showed a picture of that actor.
Yeah, you were fine before.
Click back.
I've been watching the whole time.
I fixed it just in time for the episode to end.
Professional streamer.
Yes.
And Picard is so fantastic. He wants her to stay aboard, and it's very emotional because she starts out as like the pariah, and he tells her like you have it in you to be one of the best officers in the whole Navy.
Like this, I think Picard's greatest strength is the assembly of his team, which is people with massive strengths, but also with flaws, like an island of misfit toys or something. And it's the way they play off each other and kind of how one strength might make up for another's weakness that makes his crew really great. I think he sees a lot of potential in her, if she can just kind of corral her skills.
Yep, Data makes up for Worf's weakness at being terrible at security.
Guinan makes up for Troy being rubbish counselor.
Yeah.
Even the bartender, yeah.
I really hate what they do to Rose.
Geordi's awkwardness with the ladies makes up for Riker's promiscuousness. There you go.
Yeah, and Spock's. What?
I would like to prove that I am in fact a professional streamer. Look at this last stream. Look at this one about the drumhead. 86 cents in revenue. I made money off this stream, therefore I'm a professional. That's how it works. That's the rules. That's the definition.
It is.
Awesome.
It is.
Yeah, except you're not going to make any money off this one because it's going to be flagged for inaccurate information because somebody said China virus.
And also,
Oh,
Pearl Harbor
no.
was an inside job. Pearl Harbor was an
Yeah.
inside job.
Yeah, we had a
No,
long
Pearl Harbor was not an
job.
inside job.
I said that
No,
it was
no.
it was the same thing which triggered public reaction to make them go to war.
Roosevelt
Yeah,
knew.
subscribers
Hey,
minus 2 on that.
Sergeant.
I don't know why people hated that stream, but apparently 2 people unsubscribed when they saw it. But whatever.
Jesus.
What was it last
The
week?
NSA at anyone else's place, or is it just me?
I'm just going to switch over to my.
Wait, say again? Anyone else's place what?
Oh, I was gonna say, did the NSA show up in anyone else's place after all our conspiracy theory talk?
So before we go into the next episode, I need to do the triangle thing. Because, like, here's what the triangle actually looks like if you zoom in. Like, is that okay, or should I make it, like, blue, like TNG blue? Like that? Or...
Yellow. And a little smaller, maybe.
Yeah, yellow.
I wouldn't go as big with the question mark there.
Yeah.
No, that big of a question mark is fine. Yellow,
Ryan,
yellow.
what stream was it that got people to unsubscribe?
Right,
of them, really?
It could be big. It could
must-
be big, but move it to the right a little bit more. It doesn't need to be in the center, because it shouldn't obscure the shape of the triangle ship. Like, I would
It's
put
not
it offset
obscuring
and make it as big as you had before. Then it would be, like, clear for 24 by 24 pixels. Yeah. And then big as big as it was before. Yep. I think you'll be fine, because you get the point. That's the triangle, and that's the question mark. And
More of
It
a
doesn't-
better yellow color.
Yeah,
Give it a test.
yellow or blue.
A test run.
with the stroke also, but yeah.
There's the outline object. Do that. Maybe triangle. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that would work.
That looks
You can
great.
make it a
there's
little
my
bit taller.
subscriptions. YouTube Studio.
A little
Well,
taller.
let's just. I'm uploading this now, and then
Okay.
we'll make adjustments as
visual.
we need to. Where does it even go? Where
Great.
do I put that? Is it in monetization? Memberships.
You're the professional. I don't know.
Edit.
Try your own
Triangle
admission.
class. Custom emojis. No. Oh no, they're on a separate thing. Cancel. Get rid of that. Edit. Emojis. Add another. Okay. Maybe triangle. I think it's okay. No, that's too long. Can I do triangle question mark? No.
Yeah.
I can't do I
Triangle
can't do
Q.
special characters. Oh, but I don't really
Triangle
want to show you
Q.
that.
Triangle Q.
Triangle maybe?
Triangle Q would make sense, but the issue is that Q is also a character.
Darn.
But just maybe.
So just
Oh yeah.
Just maybe.
So
Yeah,
previously on Ryan's stream, we were all getting hot and bothered for Patrick Stewart.
Yeah.
No,
I was
I mean, Tricurious is funny, but I don't know if I want to make it the actual official name.
What about triangle spelled TRY? Triangle. Oh.
Maybe.
I mean, can I even do Tricurious, or is that too many characters? Okay.
Give it a shot.
Wow. Thanks, chat. This is why we're here, to give Ryan all these brilliant ideas.
Save and publish. Okay. Hypothetically.
See, now we're really doing something.
You might need to reload the page for it to show up.
Okay,
Let's go ahead and get rid of that.
And I give you another 50 cents in ad money.
By the time we get to the 24th century, he'll have paid off his computer.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
So you can't. Not anyone can do it, Mr. Socks. It's
Yeah,
specifically
my
limited to
bad.
YouTube members.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Please
As little
define
as-
YouTube members.
You have to give him $1.
Yeah, I'm gonna toss a few shekels. The triangle is worth it.
Yo,
Okay.
that triangle looks great. Oh my god.
And for those
It's
of you
clear.
who resent that rule, I literally can't give everyone the triangle. YouTube doesn't have an option for that.
Wow.
Emojis are only a member option.
And Google takes 30% of that, so Ryan's
Yes.
not getting
Yeah.
that share.
And $1 is the cheapest that it will let you do. All
Where
right,
is the membership option hidden anyway?
I don't bloody. Oh,
It's
it's
join.
it's join. Yeah, join.
Oh, there
Next
we
to
go.
subscribe. Next to you see join.
All right.
And-
So the next
Yay.
episode is Silicon Avatar. Now I need to open up Amazon again. I think I closed it.
Oh, I thought it was Ensign Row. I missed that.
Yeah, no problem.
We just finished
you know,
Ensign Row.
I think the moral of that episode, I'm almost like tearing up as I talk about this, but we humans, we have an instinct whenever we consider somebody bad, like let's just say, you know, they went to jail for minor crime or whatever, but even, or whatever it is, like I remember at school, you know, oh, that kid's a bad apple, that kid's a rotten apple, and when you just label somebody and write them off as bad, like you're completely losing out on, you know, that maybe none of it is true, what other people say about them, and every person should really be given a chance on their own merits and how they treat you for before you decide whether they're good or bad.
Yeah, not to mention the fact that no person is good or bad, it's only the acts that they choose.
Right.
Wait, are we discussing the morals we learned from this episode before we watch the episode?
We finished Ensign Row. You're now.
Oh, you're talking
the next episode is Silk and Avatar, which will be starting in 25 seconds. Oh, hey, Mike.
I thought we were discussing the nature of the Avatar.
No, the Avatar is bad.
With Mike's membership addition, we now have another emoji slot that I don't know what to do with it, but we have it. But for now, Silk and Avatar, everybody be ready to press play. We're going to press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
Wait, is Mike or me Mike? It confuses me every time.
But
I know my
name
username.
isn't Mike on YouTube. I don't know that your name is Mike.
Yeah, because I literally just subscribed to...
You're Sergeant.
With the membership of NS Mike 87 and with this membership subscription of Darn Socks, we now have an extra emoji slot.
Yes, NS Mike 87 is me. It was before I made it explicit to people that I preferred the name Michael and just kept using Mike. That username is really old.
It is the curse of Michaels that wherever we go, nobody calls us Michael because there's like 7 more.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Is that what you were saying when you first joined the voice chat today? Because I said, hey, Mike, and I just heard the word Mike in response, and that's all I heard. And I
said, who's Mike?
Oh, okay.
Not to mention confusion with microphone.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Hey, I have one of those.
In love. Riker's flirting.
It's an episode of The Next Generation. Riker is, of course, flirting.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, right here it seems to be justified.
It's the person in the show who's everyone gets.
She looks like she's wearing Rhoda clothes from the 70s.
It seems like they've both been flirting with each other for a while. Also, that same vest is the kind of thing that Cisco wears.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or even
She
civilians.
Cisco.
Like, and the shirt is what civilians wear on Deep Space Nine.
Did we also see Geordi wearing something similar? I remember someone else wore that kind of vest. It might have been Geordi.
Jake?
I'd like to see it on Worf.
I don't think it was Jake. I think it was someone on
Me too.
TNG.
So here's a big
idea. It was the woman Data was dating, I think.
Oh, okay.
Oh. Yeah, that sounds right.
Here's a big
last week.
Here's a big
Lieutenant
idea
Desora.
for a video compilation.
Yes.
Make a compilation of every time in the series when somebody wears civilian clothes.
That's
just
I
feel like 17 hours long.
Crystalline entity.
Wait, do we count
shit.
Troy dresses?
Look, it's computer
no.
animation up there.
My God.
Filming
Look at
Dave
the perfect hair.
I feel like they should be more panicked than this.
Yeah. This is the most dangerous thing ever, right?
Yeah, yeah.
They seem pretty
Even
chill
in,
about
like,
it, though.
Even in Star
They're
Trek
oddly
games,
okay.
the crystalline entity could destroy like a fleet of starships. Like,
Yeah.
It always bothers me when something really, really dramatic and very time sensitive is happening, and anyone's just casually walking around.
Yeah, nobody's screaming like we're all gonna die instantly. Get underground.
It's especially common when there's like, there's a supervillain.
Every man for themselves.
While we have a break, can I bring something up while we have a break? Does anyone under the age of like 30 even know who Joe Piscopo is? Per
I'm under
Ryan's
30 and I know
post
who
this
he
week.
is, but only because of Star Trek.
Okay, yeah.
34.
'cause
I don't know who he is.
I'm 39 and I barely know.
I've never known him anywhere except in that episode of Star Trek.
And that's, I think, for people of our age, then that's fairly common. I'm 39, so I'm a little bit older. I kind of know him, but basically, what happened was, so Saturday Night Live was really big in the 70s, and then in 1980, Lorne Michaels left to go to Paramount, and basically, most of the writers and all of the cast left in unity with him, and they brought in all these new people, like these no-name improv actors, to be on SNL. And they all sucked, and the ratings cratered. And to keep the show alive, they released every cast member except for Eddie Murphy and Joe Piscopo. And in the early '80s, those were the guys basically keeping SNL afloat. Eddie Murphy became obviously a huge movie star. Joe Piscopo.
Right. Until Chris Farley showed up in the 90s.
Wait,
yeah, I was going to say, and then you get into the late 80s where you get like Hartman and Mike Myers and Chris Farley, and they kind of took the show to a whole other level. But yeah, there was that interesting point in time where Eddie Murphy and Joe Piscopo were kind of in the same boat on SNL, but Eddie Murphy's movie career just took off amazingly, and Joe Piscopo's just never did.
I mean, Joe Piscopo also just wasn't funny.
The joke.
Yeah, I mean, he's an acquired taste. He's like a light version of, I don't know, Andrew Dice Clay or something. And I like his Sinatra impression. I think he's good on a show like SNL more than he is in anything else. So
I think people run in.
Data should be running 100 miles per hour here.
He's staying with the group. He loves his friends.
He should pick up 3 kids and be running.
The Ryan's Edits YouTube channel does not endorse the joke that Joe Piscopo was telling in that video.
Yeah, I mean, when you did the slowdown, I was just about to say that it's very obvious why Data tells a completely different joke to Guinan than what was being told in the holodeck. Because when you slow that down,
the first
it's
sentence,
extremely racist.
The first sentence.
I mean,
fake trip.
I actually heard that joke in high school, but it was flanderized to non-racial variations.
Yeah.
So the episode had a joke inside the joke. Great.
Okay, now Data does have a reason to run 100 miles per hour. Because he's carrying a child.
Bye, love interest.
Why wouldn't Diego want to come back and
not Carmen?
She got mowed down by that thing.
Riker's like, I was going to sleep with that.
Couldn't you have waited 2 seconds?
Silicon Avatar, is that referring to the crystalline entity?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
no,
so it's
that
not
refers to
referring
Data.
What?
It's not
Data
referring
is the avatar for the
video?
woman's son, which is going to be the main plot issue later on.
I always thought it was meant to be a big.
Oh. 20
And
years
Data,
later.
because he's electronics, silicon.
Oh.
I thought the crystalline entity was made of silicone. So, that's why. But yeah, Avatar makes no sense, because it's not an avatar.
Yeah, so it's not the thing that you choose to represent yourself on the internet. Wait, what's the internet in 1991?
Well, they had silicone chips. But what's
they
amazing
just
is
should realistically be silicone, not silicon.
Yeah.
Because he's probably a polymer as opposed to just the element silicon.
True.
Well, I mean, silicone, I'm pretty sure Data didn't get any cosmetic surgery. I don't think he has implants. Yeah. Well, he probably has implants, but not those kinds of implants.
He's not made from pure silicon.
Cue that.
But neither are computer
Star
chips.
Trek. Cue that clip from Star Trek Insurrection.
Which one?
Where
have you noticed how your boobs have started to firm up?
Are made of pure silicon. They're not polymers. I bet there.
Yeah, that somebody said it.
Yeah, how your boobs have started to firm up from.
Data, you can't just say that to someone.
He heard it from Beverly and Troy.
I mean, if anyone can really say such a thing very innocently, it's Data.
Dating tip number 24. Don't ask your date that. Just it at all. Just don't do it. It's a bad idea.
What did he ask?
Or have you noticed your boobs have started to firm up? But also, don't say things you don't understand. Like,
you would think that he would have known what that word meant, though, by that time.
He absolutely does. I'm telling you, he's just faking it all. It's all an act.
I'm with you.
He's using his Android status to get away with.
There's a serious amount of evidence for that because Data does have emotions, as we see in multiple episodes.
Also, in the last episode, when they were captured in that cave, Data was very clearly angry. He had a look of anger on his face. He was just trying to suppress it. He has emotions.
But I think it's the same cave that we're in now.
I mean, he does strive to understand them better, but he definitely has them anyway.
Oh, I think this is the Arsenal of Freedom cave where Beverly and Picard fall down into that pit. Because that cave had the vines coming down as well.
You know, Ryan, I'm still waiting for the third Enterprise explosion from All Good Things.
I'll get to it eventually. I'll get to it.
The crystalline entity has like comedic timing here because Riker asks like, "Is it over?" and then the ground starts shaking.
I mean, it is an intelligent creature, canonically.
Oh, Crystal Pepsi, yeah.
Is that what the entity drinks?
No.
That sounds like a yes to me.
I posted a photo in the Discord of me holding a Crystal Pepsi from that's like 5 years old. It's not a super recent photo.
Why do you have a picture of you holding a Crystal Pepsi?
Because I
for this moment.
He said,
my friend and I used to joke about it in college, and I was like, I found one. I'm sending proof.
What is Crystal Pepsi?
Crystal Pepsi is
for you youngsters out there, yeah. Crystal. I'm sorry. Do you want to go ahead and explain it?
Well, you go ahead. It's your picture.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah. For those who don't know and may not remember, in the '90s, Pepsi had a campaign with like a Van Halen song and lots of marketing for their new clear cola called Crystal Pepsi, supposedly tasting exactly like regular Pepsi but being clear. For some reason, that's a gimmick.
Do you remember how Coke used to have cocaine? It's the same with Crystal Pepsi.
Funny.
Yeah, it was quickly a joke, and I remember speaking of Saturday Night Live from earlier. Yeah. There's an SNL fake commercial for Crystal Gravy, which is gravy but clear. Really, it's worth watching.
And they used really the same Van Halen song.
Yes, yeah. Right Now by Van Halen.
How did it taste? Because like
it tasted like a shittier version of Pepsi.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, the color from Coke comes from caramel, so mostly, so it's like there's no caramel in there. It's a totally different recipe.
Which is why it's a stupid gimmick. So it's like the difference in taste is probably psychological, but like, why even do that then?
Right.
Well, I noticed a difference in taste with Crystal Pepsi. I'm circa 1992.
Okay, then I'm not crazy. Thank you.
And I liked it. I was really disappointed when I couldn't find it anymore.
It was one of those things like that the sort of silliness of it overrode whether it was actually a good product. Like Zima was like that too. Like Zima was great. It became such a joke.
Zima lives on in the 24th century on Babylon 5.
Oh, and thank God for that.
There's an urban legend about transparent Coca-Cola produced in the Soviet Union for Gorbachev's benefit, because supposedly he liked the drink, but shouldn't have been seen drinking it in public. I don't know how true that is, but my sister did tell me that there were some Coke drinks in the Soviet Union.
Just like D&D painted.
They had their own cola, didn't they? The Soviet cola.
I'm not entirely sure, but she did tell me that the first Western drink to make it was Fanta, and it was made from locally grown oranges rather than artificial mixes.
And Fanta's from Germany. It was later bought by Pepsi or Coke or whatever. But
there's a halo around the Enterprise in these shots.
It looks normal to me.
There's a little bit of a glow.
Oh, wait a minute. Is this the one where Data reads the letter in a boy's voice?
Yeah.
He is an avatar for that boy who's dead.
Oh, now I get it. So it refers to Data.
Yes.
Okay, so it does mean avatar in the sense that we think of.
Now, today, yeah.
It does not refer to an airbender.
No.
That's not what it means.
Or an incarnation of the god Vishnu.
Long ago, the crew of the Enterprise was in harmony. Then, everything changed when the crystalline entity attacked.
Okay.
I remember in D&D books...
I really love you, Mom.
What?
No, that's the voice Data makes when like he's narrating the colonists. Which, go ahead. What were you saying?
I like to think that Brent Spiner went as far as he could before he messed it up, and then they used as much of the clip as they had created that was good for him mouth matching.
Seems right.
It was very well done.
There was also, I remember, D&D book where it would list various gods in the various Earth pantheons, and if you wanted to have them encounter the characters, and then if the characters happened to decide to fight them, you were not actually fighting the god, you were just actually fighting their appearance, which was called an avatar in the manual.
Yeah.
Right. That's how Hinduism works. When I first was watching this, I thought this was Data's mom, and I was waiting for the part where he's like, "Yeah, I knew you were a robot because you do everything the same way every time, and no biological being can do that." She looks like his mom.
I was gonna say, yeah. When we first kind of started on this, I was like, "Wait, is it this one?"
Yeah. Which is also a fantastic episode. Because like the audience is thrown off, and Data's like, "Yeah, I knew the whole time."
Because of the way she blinked her eyes.
Also, the way she played the violin, because it was like every single note was the same every time, and there's no way a human could ever do that.
What was her name? Juliana Tanner, is it? Or is that this lady?
Yeah, Tanner
No.
Moore or something, yeah. That
It's
was
not this lady. Juliana O'Donnell was her maiden name, then Sung, and then in the episode it's Tanner.
Okay.
Ryan knew. But this lady...
Thank you for the exposition, lady.
I love Data at the end because Data tells her that, oh yeah, your son wouldn't have been proud of what you did. And like, he destroys her.
Oof.
Yeah.
Big oof.
Yeah.
Big oof, yeah.
Yeah, Ensign Rowe. I mean, I'm not sure if you're asking about the episode or the character, but both are really good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Like I said in the chat, like I thought she has a lot of potential as a character, and I would have been very, very curious to see where that ended up. But we sort of get Kira, as a parallel for that, I guess.
Why is Picard wearing his adventure jacket? Why is it suede? That's not the same adventure jacket, actually. That one doesn't have the leather.
No,
shoulders.
It changes between Darmok and this episode. They do have two versions.
Yeah, but why is he wearing the suede? What's he about to go beam down to? Is he coming to
the leather
surface?
ones? The leather ones when you fight the invisible creature, and this one is just when you're hanging out.
And boy, do both look good.
Do the shirts look
They
good,
really
or is
do.
that just Patrick Stewart?
He fills up the shirt nicely.
I plead the fifth.
Dr. Marr, that's her name.
Yeah.
Also, we mentioned this on this stream before, but this makes no sense. So Data's like, yeah, I have the memories of all the colonists, but not their minute-to-minute memories, but only their most intense memories. So Dr. Soong somehow out of the brains of all the colonists, not just one.
Do they
all
agree
of
to
them.
this?
Yeah, and also somehow memory engrams, only the intense ones can transfer over to Data's positronic net.
What is
Maybe
the story
saving
for them
space.
anyway?
And
What is
sorry,
the what?
I mean, how? So it was on Omicron Theta. There was a human colony there. Crystalline entity came, ate everything, and only Data was left, and he was there for who knows how many months or years until Starfleet officers happened to come and investigate, and they found him and inactivated him.
Yes.
Then Laura was buried in the cave nearby. And then, but how was he there in the first place? Was Dr. Soong there?
Yeah, is
that where he
That's
lived?
the colony Dr. Soong was in, and when the crystal entity attacked, he just booked it. And left Data behind. Data and Lore.
And killed all the colonists, and Data was found turned off in an off state in a cave, which is like
Soong was
season
living
2
there,
ago.
then he pieced out to Dagobah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But also, if Data had the memories of all the colonists in his head, like you would think he would have a much better understanding of human nature because you could just synthesize jokes and stuff better.
Yeah, this lady, Dr. What was her name? I already forgot. Was it Mar?
Mar.
M-A-R.
Dr.
This
Mark.
is somewhat impolite of her. You just can't accuse someone for treason. That's not very nice of you.
No, martyr.
No, he definitely
loves
can.
him
We've
by the end.
established this. He feels everything. He just lies about it. Lying again, Dr. Marr.
As far as her responding to him, it's at the very least good practice to say, yes, I heard you. You know, so at least Data knows that she heard. That's just good communication.
Supposedly, Data learned to lie at the poker table.
Maybe.
He plays badly though. He never does well.
Yeah.
Like Riker always beats him, probably.
Yeah, but Riker is.
When we specifically see otherwise.
wait, time zero. Or does he canonically? Wait, does he canonically cheat?
He plays with Twain, but you're right. And Guinan.
No, he plays.
Oh, he plays with the random. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
with Mark Alamo.
Okay, but maybe that's because like they were living 400 years ago, and then Data is smarter in that case. But if it's a game against Riker and his fellow comrades,
I think Data can succeed in a situation where mathematics will prevail, but against more savvy players who play less than optimal strategy and bluff more, etc.
Yeah,
he might be at a disadvantage, especially if they know exactly what his game is. That his game is going to stick to just hard statistics.
Yeah, that's how Ryan beats the AI in Stellaris. It's like you got to be smart. You got to outwit the AI if you know how the AI thinks.
Data always loses to the mind games.
Riker does comment that Data has an iron poker face.
Well, Riker, I love that Riker is the one that consistently beats him because Riker, not only with the ladies but just with people in general, has such a great ability to read people and react to that. You know,
Riker is a wild card and he knows how to use that.
Yeah.
Nobody expects him.
Emphasis on wild.
Absolutely, that is perfect.
I put a picture in the Discord of this lady versus Dr. Marr alongside Juliana Tanner. And yeah, they
fairly similar.
If you didn't remember what they looked like, yeah, you might mistake one for the other.
This is Dr. Marr on the left. That's Juliana Tanner on the right.
Everybody on Omicron Theta wears their hair in a bun.
Buns were big back in that time, man.
Oh yeah.
Back in the 23rd.
Yeah.
She can wear
women used to wear their hair up.
Oh, sun's out, buns out. What can you say?
Exactly. Except the sun isn't out because they're on a spaceship. But then I guess that means the sun is always out, depending on how close.
Yeah, it falls a little bit apart in space for sure.
It just brings out the Little House on the Prairie, Laura Ingram's Wilder motif for me.
Like, if you want to have everybody do a sunset or a sunrise, you can just position the Enterprise so it's perpendicular to the sun and just spin. You can just spin the ship.
Speed!
Is that what they do on the night shift?
It's not like anyone's going to notice.
Nope.
Other than the sunrise.
Ryan, now that there's a new emoji slot, can I offer a suggestion?
Yes.
Data's small talk face.
Maybe.
Oh yeah, there's
maybe
the Data small talks.
Why not the face where he's like, "You are not my mother. You cannot tell me what to do." In the episode where he gets a girlfriend.
Oh, that's a good one as well.
You are not my mother. That is the correct response. Even as a child, I was thinking, wait a minute, correct response?
Do you wish to continue our lover's quarrel?
Ooh, 2 point something times 10 to the 22 hertz is apparently the crystalline entity frequency, whatever that means.
All right, so it's a ultrasonic vibration.
Far
shouldn't even be
into
able
the
to see.
ultrasonic. 10 to
I
the
mean,
22 hertz is absurd.
I mean, Ryan, it makes sense. Being crystalline, it has a solid structure with natural frequencies.
Right.
What was the frequency?
It has natural phonons.
It was like 2.4 times 10 to the 22 hertz.
Whoa.
But everyone has a
just-
frequency though.
The normal audio for a computer is like 48, what is it, kilohertz? Which is 4.8 times 10 to
Is that the
the
20
10 to the 7th, 10 to the 8th.
Yeah, humans can't hear much beyond, 30,000 hertz?
That's true. They should have been able to hear that thing light years away if that's the frequency of when it moves. Not like when it's directly over them. It's like, Data's like, I think it's coming from above. Like, don't you have 2 ears? Like, wouldn't you be able to know exactly where it's coming from?
Here
If
we are.
it's
Humans
vibrating at 10 to the 22 hertz, no. We can't hear anything 10 to the 22 hertz.
That's true. You know, elephants... Go ahead.
The human hearing range is commonly given, according to Wikipedia, as 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz.
Yeah.
Although there's considerable variation between individuals.
Right.
Most people lose some of the higher frequencies with age, and in
headphones.
The laboratories at my university are full of CRT screen oscilloscopes, and they drive me crazy. And mostly everyone my age doesn't hear them anymore. But those of you who are a little bit older might remember the noise TVs made when they were on standby.
Yeah.
That's this many hertz is the number. For comparison, human hearing, let's say 20,000 is, and that's that. That's it.
Picard gives a
Crystalline
good
entity,
analogy here.
Human hearing.
A sperm whale eats cuttlefish, so a sperm whale isn't evil. So, like, why would we be assuming? I know I said the crystalline entity was evil before, but like, why would we assume that it's?
Well,
we were deviating, but yeah, I mean, the crux here is where he says, you know, I don't deny that it may be necessary to kill this thing, but I consider it a last resort. He respects the right for this thing to exist, even as you know, violent and ravenous as it is.
I mean,
because
you have to
Picard
keep
is a
in
great
mind
diplomat.
It killed Riker's temporary girlfriend.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
Can't
I
do
mean,
that.
but he has so many. What's the deal? But
I don't.
But no, it's this thing where in the TNG movies, it's not consistent with that sort of live and let live kind of thing, because he seems so much more vengeful towards the Borg later on and that kind of thing. It's I like this version of Picard where he is so, you know, the humanitarian.
There's in the Orson Scott Card novels, Speaker for the Dead, starting with Speaker for the Dead, the author he builds a fictional hierarchy of foreignness specifically for alien creatures, where the highest levels are called ramen and varils, which refer to the level of potential meaningful communication possible with an alien entity, where at the most foreign level, where no meaningful communication is ever possible, he argues that there should be no moral qualms with a destructive force at the presentation of a threat, as opposed to one step lower, where if any kind of meaningful communication can be established, that is when you start looking for Picard solutions.
As usual, the solution is just talk.
Well, Card argues that once you can't talk, once
If
there's
you can't
a barrier,
talk, then that's an issue.
I mean, at some point he brings, as an example, an alien species which communicates by sending strands of DNA. Strands of DNA that to humans are literally a deadly virus. And once they discover that they cannot communicate in any meaningful way with that species, they genocide them as a necessity to existence. I'm somewhere deep into the Speaker for the Dead series. Ryan, I actually expected you to be the kind to like those books.
I've read every single Ender's Game book, but it was a while ago and I don't remember everything about them. I remember he went to that planet after the genocide and found I think it was an egg or something. And then he hung out with it, and then there was that whole bit about like he was traveling close to the speed of light and time kept moving on without him. And then for some reason, his sister and some dude made a blog, and their blog influenced the entire planet or something. I don't know how that works with a blog, but apparently it does.
I mean, I'm guessing that back in the 80s, Card really expected blogs to be very different from what they are now. But in the novels following up to the original, starting with the second one, Speaker for the Dead, Card starts going to the philosophy of meaningful communication with alien races and the morality of genocide.
Maybe I should reread them, because it has been a really long time. It's been like 7 years?
I might
8 years?
join you with that, because like I saw the movie, it wasn't that great. So.
Oh, wait, look at the turbo lift. It's still open. Oh, it just closed again.
Oh, darn.
Wow. You know, her motive for revenge, I mean, I'm not gonna defend her, but I can see where she's coming from. Like, if this thing's a mass murderer, then you gotta put it down. Like, I mean, it's a genocidal creature.
And also the
course.
fact that,
you know what it feels like,
and also not just a question of justice, but the question of self-defense. If they don't, it's like if coyotes start infringing on your property, they're going to endanger your children playing in the backyard.
Right.
And if you,
and she's lost a kid to a coyote, so.
Yeah, it's and then the neighbors' kids, and then their neighbors' kids, and then their neighbors' kids. It's not going to stop.
Coyote's not evil, but you might have to kill it anyway.
Totally.
Triangle ship ever.
Is that a triangle ship?
Triangle ship.
Yeah,
That's
she's
the
pretty
biggest
messed up
close-up
from
of
the
it
death
ever.
of her son.
That is
Like,
100% a triangle. Hang on.
Yo, we got a triangle!
Oh.
Spam the chat.
Triangle.
There's
Get the
question marks
triangles
here.
in the chat.
That's not a
31
tri-curious
triangles.
ship.
Okay. We have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20,
No,
21,
no
22,
question marks.
23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. 31 triangles.
Woo!
No question
No
about
question
it.
marks. That is
pure
100% a triangle.
baby.
Yeah, chill with the question marks.
Okay.
See,
back-
as an example of various level of foreignness, chat at this moment does not present meaningful communication.
What do you mean?
It's very
It's very meaningful.
extreme.
It's very meaningful to me.
I was going to
that's the
say,
wrong
like,
triangle. No, remove that. No, I'm removing. Get out of here. Fake triangle.
her attitude reminds me of Ripley in the Alien sequels, where, like, they seem to kind of be like, well, maybe there's, like, we could weaponize them, or maybe they could just be, like, on their own planet, or whatever. She's like, no, you have to kill all of them. Otherwise, they'll kill us. Like,
Right.
Listen to me. I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. But here's the thing: how come the Enterprise doesn't have security so that a civilian could wind up sending out a giant graviton frequency and they can't even override it?
Whoops.
The creators of Trek really did not foresee how computers would work.
Gene Roddenberry's utopian vision of the future means no one will ever do anything bad on a computer ever. You can trust everyone.
There's no information security.
And manual override always works. Yeah,
Always.
Or even we joke about the quarantine procedures too. Like last episode, he was just had the Cardassian flu and he's just coming around to Picard and everything.
Oh wow.
Nothing. What are you doing? Put your foot up on the desk. I just realized Picard's wearing boots too.
Yeah, and he put it down as soon as the bell rang.
Oh no, it wasn't doing that. No.
Nope. I'm the captain.
I'm not chilling. You're chilling.
I never chill.
He can do whatever he wants. It's his ship. Well, it's not
Why
his
didn't the
ship,
door open?
but it's kind of his
Why
ship.
didn't the door open there?
I'm the captain.
What are the rules? How does the door know?
He was right in front of it, and then Picard's like, "What is it, number one?" And I wish he had just said, "The door won't open."
Amazing.
So, back to the important issue of the episode. Here they are talking about should they kill it or not.
Ordinarily, they would open. It's also a weird thing that in other times that's happened, the doors have opened and then they've walked back and the doors have closed.
It was a dramatic moment between two actors.
The door read the script.
So, Jonathan Frakes does have a cameo, though I'm not sure it's worth the $300 to get him to say the door won't open, so I can insert it into the clip. That might be too much.
We should crowdfund it.
Everyone, get your friends to subscribe to the channel.
$300 for a 3-second joke.
I tossed in $15 for this.
Hey,
I
Ryan.
will happily throw in 20. Yeah.
Or can you find him said that anywhere else?
Yeah, or
assemble it from
word for word.
Episodes of Beyond Belief.
Yeah, Fainsentinel cameo. I mean, technically or not, I don't think you're supposed to ask them to say specific phrases, but you just ask for like a message like, "Hey, could you say happy birthday to my friend? He loves your show." And they'll do a 30-second to a minute message.
Oh, you mean real life for hire?
Yeah.
They do it because they get some bit of extra money.
I'm guessing he's running out of insurrection money.
I mean, he has director money. He has producer
He's currently
money.
being paid for directing Picard season 2.
Yeah, and he was an actor in Picard.
Season 2.
And apparently
He's directing season 1.
For $750 USD, you can schedule a 10-minute Zoom call with Jonathan Frakes with up to, I think it said 4 friends.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Which is a lot of money to talk to someone for 10 minutes, but, you know.
Yeah. I'm your friend, Ryan.
Where are you finding this?
I'm a friend too.
The website is called Cameo, if you just Google Cameo Jonathan Frakes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Jonathan Frakes is doing season 2 with Picard as well.
I'm sure we could put it together through other episodes. The door won't open. And then
Tommy has busy schedules. That's why the price is so expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, supply and demand, right? Like everybody would want, everybody in this chat would love to have Jonathan Frakes say happy birthday to them. So
I'd love Jonathan Frakes to say a lot of things to me.
I have seen him live in conventions. I think it was when one of the Next Generation movies came out. He signed autographs for an hour and then he did an hour talk. Oh, here comes Data's recitation.
I have a channel now. Maybe I can ask him for an interview. Like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm definitely a big shot YouTube guy. I can get you lots of publicity.
I got 20,000 subscribers.
Who all know who you are already and follow everything you do.
Right.
So Dr. Marr here, she's got this opportunity. She's just discovered in this episode that Data's got all these records of all the colonists, most significantly her son. Why doesn't she immediately ask him to download a copy of all of those records and memories and letters to a data pad for her? Then she's got them forever.
Data pad.
Photo album
Because
that
then
she
we
never
couldn't
knew
get the
existed.
utter crushing heartbreak at the end of the episode. It's very important.
Also, Datapad.
I wonder who the actor was here for the voice.
It is Jason Marsden. I have no idea who that is, but that's definitely a person.
He's actually famous, I think.
I mean, I know he was on Star Trek.
Right. You know, I have a cousin whose dad died, but this was like in the 90s or whatever. So late 80s. And so like they don't have video of him, but they have like pictures, but it's like you know, if you could get video, and now with AI, you can, like, I saw because Frederick Douglass was the most photographed person of the 19th century. So they took all of his pictures together and they made like a video of Frederick Douglass turning his face side to side. And so it's really nice to be able to do that for someone.
Hypothetically, my family members in the future could just watch along Star Trek with me.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's a novel, you know, called Fahrenheit 461 that's about that.
Okay. I haven't read it. Ray Bradbury.
Yeah, Ray Bradbury, and he literally
451, yeah.
Yeah, 451, and he gives literally that example to demonstrate why you probably shouldn't Frankenstein your dead relatives onto a TV screen.
Okay.
I don't see the
I
issue
just know
here.
We got
Frankenstein.
Come on, we got holograms of Tupac. We're doing fine.
We are.
Speaking of AI interpolation on media, on pictures, though, a couple months ago I found somebody who had uploaded last year a video. There's a very famous film strip called A Trip Down Market Street, which was filmed in 1906 in San Francisco, about a week before the earthquake destroyed 80% of the city.
Wow.
The film strip made it so these guys put their camera on the front of a trolley car and just rode it down Market Street for 16 minutes or whatever. And so you're seeing all this stuff happen. Well, okay, so that's 1906, right? Well, last year, this guy added not just ambient sound, but accurate motor car sounds from those models, from very close to those models of cars. He sped up the frame rate. He colorized it, so it looks like it was almost filmed yesterday.
Wow.
I'll put the link here in the Discord. The YouTuber's name is Mike Upchurch.
Wow. That's amazing. And even the ability to colorize black and white kind of blew me away when they came out with it in the 2000s. Because, like, that information's not there, and you're just adding it somehow.
Yeah.
I mean, there is some
stuff.
guesswork to it, isn't there?
Yeah.
Colorized stuff has been around since the 80s. It's been around for a long time.
True. But, like, I remember there was a new trend of, like, colorizing black and white movies, like, around the 2000s. Like, but yeah, I'm sure the technology to paint a frame has been there for a while.
But there's also a very big difference between colorizing a movie like Casablanca just for the heck of colorizing it, and taking something very historic and saying, what does this look like much more closer to real life?
Right, and 1906 is... Sorry,
there was a big thing with Ted Turner when they
Turner
acquired
Classic Movies,
Warner, and the cat catalog.
Yeah,
so they had all these old movies they were trying to find a way to kind of monetize, and that was sort of a haphazard solution.
Right. But also, like, colorizing a movie from 1948 and 1906 is two different things. So, wow, I can't believe they colorized something from 1906 and made it 4K and added the sounds. That's really amazing.
Look at Data's face here.
I committed murder for you.
Yeah.
Vengeance.
That has no meaning to Data whatsoever. Yeah, she's seeking revenge, which is a different thing than justice, by the way.
Yeah, or even self-defense.
Right.
I think that I would agree with killing it, but for the motive of self-defense.
Right.
Or rather, defense of others.
Yeah, this lady's evil.
She's in trouble.
I'd say sick.
Yeah, troubled.
Yeah, she seems a little too happy.
Oh, he even takes her
tad.
hand.
She's a troublemaker.
Nah, like revenge is a dish
thinks it was
best served.
100% worth it.
Revenge is a dish best served at high frequencies.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, look at that apple on the desk there. The computer, I mean. Sort of resembled an Apple computer.
Picard's not happy. Oh wait, I like Picard's like, Worf, escort her, and Data's like, let me take her. I mean, that's an emotional thing that he did. He did a great job by doing that.
Yeah, there's some emotional intelligence in that for sure.
Yeah. EQ for sure.
He's known her for too long now.
She almost put out this vibe like she wanted Data to Netflix and chill here.
How long has Data been in Starfleet at this point? He
26 years.
26 years.
He's bound to have picked up at least some emotional experience.
That's what we were saying, right? Like he knows all this. This is all a ruse.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, she wants to Netflix and chill. No.
No, that's not what it is. It's more like there's a phenomenon. If a mother loses her infant, she might carry around a baby doll for a while. Or in nature, when a baboon mother loses her infant, she carries around the corpse for like a couple of days until like you can't even hold that anymore. So
there's a famous case a few years ago of an orca that did the same thing, gave birth to a baby that was a stillborn, and just literally swam around carrying the corpse of her child with her for thousands of miles.
Yeah, so that's what she's
lovely.
doing. She's not like trying to hit on him. She's just projecting all her emotions for her son onto this doll.
Yeah.
No, I was joking, obviously, but yeah, you're right.
So Data just told her that Data believes her son would be very disappointed in her right now. Now try.
She's a great actress.
Now imagine this question now. So she did this possibly for revenge, possibly for justice.
Yeah.
And regardless of either of those, you can absolutely argue self-defense.
Right.
Because more people, I keep saying this, more and more people get killed by this thing.
Yes.
So now, how about her now having to live with the idea that even if she did the right thing, her dead son who died from it would not approve?
Yeah. And her career is over because, you can't just be a murderer and a scientist in Starfleet. So, and that's why he loved her, right? So it's like you shot yourself in the foot emotionally. And her acting is so
about
great.
Upscaling. I mean, I don't have any really of the skills necessary to do like a trip down Market Street, but I do have some upscaling software. Like I can make Voyager higher quality.
Yeah, that's fun.
You can make Voyager visually higher quality. Let's put that on there.
I like the latter half of Voyager.
I don't see a difference here.
Anything with Robert Picardo.
What are we looking at?
It's probably hard to tell with the stream compression.
Could you edit
but on my
Janeway
screen,
out?
he looks a lot better here.
Could you edit Janeway out?
No, get
She's
rid
a
of
great
Felix.
actress, man.
Get rid of Felix. Felix, the space clown.
What do you mean?
I can't stand Neelix.
All right, let me.
I
try
can't
and
stand
put
Neelix with
Picardo
Cass.
next to Picardo.
He's like controlling, abusive, like jealous. He's everything like
That is quite a difference.
He's a psychopath.
Yeah, I see the way you look at him.
There's a big.
Ryan, can you re-edit the entire series of Voyager with Robert Picardo in every role? That would be great.
I mean, I could deepfake him into every role.
That's
But
what
it wouldn't
I
change
want.
the voice.
That's really great, right?
It's fine. No, leave the voice.
Maybe that'll be a video. Maybe in April. Just put every scene or every character in a single scene is just Robert Picardo.
So what are you doing for April 1st?
Don't worry about
Galaxy Quest.
Oh man, I love that movie.
I hadn't actually thought about it. I didn't consider the fact that that was coming up. What's the next? Oh, it's Disaster.
Yeah.
Next episode's Disaster.
Like your
1
channel.
minute timer.
Oh my god! Wow,
Someone
this episode is so weird.
Even without Ryan, we could do Galaxy Quest. We just can't do it on YouTube.
Have you guys seen the Orville?
Actually, I just rewatched an episode of it this
No.
morning while I was having breakfast.
I started.
I just
and never
watched
got
Stargate
into it.
Continuum.
I've seen it once or twice.
I
gets
watched this
better.
morning like half of an episode, the one where it's the Doctor and Phlox, both doctors interacting with each other.
Oh yeah, that's great. I love that he's on there.
I like the one actor that plays the helmsman. I forget his name, but
Scott Grimes. Yeah.
I loved him in Band of Brothers.
But the character name, I know the actor name. I
know the actor's name. I don't know.
All right, everyone get ready. Everyone, we're almost ready to press play on Disaster in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
This is the one where Troy gets some bridge duty, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Because she
Face
took
of
the
command.
commander's test. Or has she yet? No, she hasn't.
No. That happens later.
This is her inspiration.
No, that's the one. That's what makes her wanna do it.
Yeah.
No, that's the one. That's where Troy. That's where Troy takes over. Derna. Derna's the best.
William O'Brien.
Oh yeah, and Worf delivers a baby. I forgot about that.
Oh God,
You may
yeah.
now give birth.
Yeah, that's fine.
And they call back to that in DS9 a little bit.
Yes.
which
The
is-
Patriot was a very funny moment.
And this was not like the simulation. Why am I not surprised that the simulations would, still be so insipidly
was much more
simplified by then?
Worf definitely deserves to have the baby named after him after that.
Worf O'Brien.
Worf O'Brien.
And it's a girl. Yeah.
Or you know what? Let's make it for his father, Mog O'Brien.
Oh yeah, this is Molly, isn't it? This isn't Kiriyoshi yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is where Molly is born.
Oh, are you ready for
This
the
is
very
the,
model of a modern Major General?
Oh, LeVar, you're so bad.
Yes, bad.
Yeah, he sucks.
Okay, but does LeVar Burton suck or does Geordi suck? Because those can be different things.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's a good actor. He's a good actor in that he can be
Yes.
terrible.
I'm kind of like Kevin said that can't sing.
I mean, he might be a terrible singer.
His job isn't
everyone
to
pay
sing.
attention.
That's a nice
Everyone
one.
pay attention to the terrible design of how the Geordi and Dr. Crusher situation works out.
This is the.
There's the executive officer in charge of Radishes, the short one. Well, they're all short, but the
God.
shortest one. That guy.
They're all short.
I don't know about anyone else. I
They're all
hate
short.
little
Now-
kids on. I hate kids on
now
Star Trek. I just hate it.
Now I want a starship, a Federation starship, crewed entirely by hobbits.
That's a tall order.
Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting.
Why is O'Brien on the bridge other than to be, obviously somebody
I know.
in the episode?
Weird.
Don't worry about it. He's
Kids
just
look so
reprising his
uncomfortable.
helmsman role from season 1.
I was just about to say.
Yeah, well,
Yeah. These kids look very uncomfortable. In
maybe
these
just
outfits.
pass it by. I don't know.
Maybe he's there to fix
He
the
looks-
replicator in Picard's ready room. Maybe it's broken down.
The little girl there looks like she dropped out of the Rainbow Bright or something.
Right? Oh
Very
god.
commendable.
I hate kids on Star Trek. I don't know why they do this kind of stuff. It always just comes off as weird and annoying.
Because we need the character growth for
Look at
Picard.
this guy.
I do enjoy the fact that Picard hates kids. I don't know. It's just I like that.
Big things on his head.
Motion detected at the front yard.
I mean, it doesn't seem like he hates kids exactly. He just doesn't know what to do with them.
Well, I mean, he hates dealing with them, right? He doesn't hate them, but he'd rather not have to deal with them. Yeah.
Oh no, the blue barrels are moving around.
They take it strong because they don't obey him, right? That's the problem.
That's not the kid's fault.
Those blue barrels are a serious safety hazard. As
They
the
are.
executive
Aren't they?
officer, Riker should have taken care of them long ago. I cannot
I mean-
believe he lets that go on.
That's your next emoji, Ryan, a blue barrel.
I
Wait,
have
didn't
one
he
half
have that
prepared,
already?
but it's kind of ugly. It's on the Discord.
Everyone on the bridge crew, or in the bridge right now, is secondary cast. Deanna's the major cast member on the bridge
Oh,
right
there's
now.
an intake right here that
No,
we've
you're
done.
right at the beginning. She's also secondary cast.
Ooh.
Pyrotechnics.
I don't remember if in the intake I had her survive that, or if I exploded it a second time to kill her. But
You don't remember?
well, I know I did both versions. I don't remember which one I ended up going with.
I only
think you did
remember
it a
her
second time to
saying,
dinner.
"Whoa, that's intense."
I don't know.
Yeah, so
there was definitely
in-
one where you did that.
In one version, well, the actual outtake is she says, "Wow, that's intense" after the explosion, because they didn't actually kill a woman for this role. But one version, I just had the console explode again because there's another white flash and it can cover the cut. And in one version, it just cut away to the guy dead on the floor. I don't remember which one I did.
I wonder how they create the sparks.
Enterprise.
Yeah, those are real sparks. Those aren't CG. That's a.
They probably use fire.
Oh, if you look at Continuum, there's a scene at the end where they're being shot at, and the actual shot is they've got sparks coming off of their chest.
Lovely.
Does
anyone remember what I called that video?
Done.
They probably use fireworks for now because you can use fireworks for anything. People use it for pranks, so they gotta use it for this, something like that.
All right, I found it.
I'm drawing a blank right now, but does the next generation often do the thing where consoles explode due to external damage?
Oh yeah.
But not as often as the original series, right? It's more of an exception.
Okay, in this version, she survived. Good for her.
That was intense. Oh, that's number 29. Okay.
I think I did the alternate version for the Patreon. I think that's where it went. Medical team for the bridge. Forget about the rest of the ship. It's only you that's important.
Maybe just the Wi-Fi is out.
More important.
Wait,
Also, so that they know that they have a medical issue on the bridge.
Try picking up the landline phone. I bet that'll get through.
I'm pulling a dumb here, but who was in command before the disaster?
Lieutenant Monroe, the one who was killed.
Yeah, the lady who exploded.
Make sure airplane mode is off.
It is interesting that
Wait,
you leave the crew.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she was in charge, but not so much anymore.
Because she's dead.
I appreciate that her console is actually exploded. It's not working anymore. There's a big hole in it.
Exploding consoles are a silly concept, though.
That's not real life, though.
It's where the adventure.
The person is not actually dead.
It's a good thing that Picard was dressed for this occasion.
With all 4 pips. This is the closest that he ever gets, I think, to playing Mr. Rogers, who is, in my opinion, like the epitome of getting along with children.
Mm-hmm.
Because like Ryan said, Picard is not actually. Well, he says he doesn't like children, which is what I always thought. But Ryan was saying that he likes children. He just doesn't know how to deal with them.
Yeah, kind of like me.
You know what I don't like about these children? I don't like Marissa's boots. They are way too wide open at the top. They need to be. Those are the wrong size for Marissa.
That's a fashion statement.
She's just going to step out of those boots every time she takes a step.
It's a fashion statement.
And eye roll. There's a video clip for you. Picard eye roll.
What?
What is that?
Why is there a picture in our Discord about... It looks like O'Brien murdered Geordi.
Yeah, no. It's an Irish joke. It's not very PC. I've seen this before.
Ensign Rowe.
Well, in that case, let's not elaborate. Let's leave it at that.
Let us not.
Yeah.
Also, Ensign Rowe, did you just swear on my Star Trek?
What did she say?
She said, "What the HE double hockey sticks happened." It's even
Bulkhead
in the
is a
video.
fancy.
Weird way
Bulkhead
to
is a
say
fancy word
fuck.
for.
Oh man.
Bulkhead is a fancy word for wall. I found out once I finally looked it up.
It's what they call walls on ships. For some reason.
Bulkhead is a reinforced wall, and they can be used as automatic shutters.
No, don't worry about your wife. She's fine. She has a contract. Jeez, all these people worrying over nothing.
Yeah, but does the unborn child?
Well, even if she doesn't, we can just transfer her to another woman in the same room. It'll be fine.
really great, nice small role for this ensign here. Had a couple nice close-ups.
Mm-hmm.
He got some lines. He got paid. He gets to hang out with the main people.
Yeah, he
even gets to be
the actor's name is Cameron Arnett. He's still a working actor. He's been in a lot of stuff.
He even gets to be the center of the shot.
Yeah, I mean that's fantastic. No, seriously, for a bit role like that, that's huge.
Did we just give O'Brien
very
control?
funny scene. Yeah, it's a very funny scene. He's the lowest ranked, but he's the most experienced, best know what he's doing.
Just say, you know what, O'Brien, I will defer to your experience. You have command.
Yes.
Don't let the counselor make these decisions.
That's all you gotta do.
The thing is, you can actually do that.
So what does Deanna Troy's character... I mean, she's not skilled in... Or she's trying to get skilled in command at this point in time, but she has no technical skills, right?
Nope.
She carries the rank of commander, but
I mean, she's probably still smarter than any of us because, like, future space education, but...
It's a sliding scale.
You have a bachelor's degree in physics. She's a psychologist. Have some self-respect.
I really hope in the future that psychologists know more about physics than I do. I really hope that that's what ends up happening.
Well, anyone who's been through Starfleet has to have gone through essentially a degree program in physics and just about everything else at the same time.
It is an inevitable fact of scientific progress that as time goes on, people have to specialize more and more. A bachelor or a doctor of physics 100 years ago would have a wider breadth of knowledge than a bachelor of physics today. But people have to specialize today because there is so much more knowledge around.
I feel like most average everyday people these days know more about physics than Isaac Newton did.
Yes.
Maybe.
Unlikely.
I don't know Isaac Newton very well.
He didn't really do that much by today's standards. I mean, for the time he was in, he made massive amounts of progress. But now it's like, it's middle school or maybe high school level stuff.
Did you ever try explaining the Galilee transform to an
By the way, Newton was one of the lost alchemists.
Also, alchemy is not a real thing, for the record. You can't do that.
No, but it was what he did.
No, but that's how
Isaac
chemistry
Newton thought you could do it.
But that's how chemistry was born.
Yeah. That's a plasma fire.
Yeah.
My god, it's CGI.
Looks like the Black Cauldron.
It's CGI.
The Black Cauldron, that old Disney film.
Yeah, when they activate the cauldron, it gives a flame just like that, which was also the first computer animated thing in any Disney animation.
Right. I think I had that visualization in a Windows Media Player.
Yeah. But no, that's just a crazy reference because I don't think too many people even know about that film, but it was such a fantastic Disney story.
Yeah, it was way off Star Trek, but it was it's the low point of all Disney feature animation, which is a real shame because the source material is top-notch, outstanding. It's the author's masterpiece. And It's my favorite work. It's the crown of all young adult literature that I have ever read.
Yeah. I grew up on that, so I was just like, I can't believe somebody else could refer to that movie.
You got me curious now.
Well, The Black Cauldron was a series of fantasy novels, young adult fantasy novels written in the late 1960s by American author Lloyd Alexander. And today it's considered his masterpiece. The overarching story is the advancement of a young man, advancement from a boy named Taran from being a naive, idealistic boy to a grown, idealistic man capable of leading thousands of people. And through that, he has to learn that, yes, heroism does exist, but it's not anything like what he expected. And
So
the
it is
answer
now
were all.
like what we expect because we read that book.
The Amazon trivia it pointed out that the holes for the girl who just became captain or whatever, they were already on her collar.
First Officer Marissa.
Thank you. Oh, I like this officer in charge of radishes. That's really brilliant to Picard.
It's brilliant, but I hate radishes.
No, but his science experiment was done with radishes.
What would you prefer to be the executive officer in charge of?
Yams.
What was your science project, huh?
Yams are filling and sweet.
Like literally anything. You could just be like in charge of being short or something. Like it doesn't fucking matter. Just radishes suck.
Hey,
why
are you
even get them
swearing on my
involved?
Star Trek stream?
Also,
You said it was okay last week.
I did, but I'm going to keep pointing it out.
I like radishes, and what you said, you.
What you
Look,
said,
you can like radishes all you want. You're wrong, but you can do it. That's fine. I don't want to get into a radish debate.
Yeah.
I don't actually like radishes. I'm just being belligerent.
There's a debate, an ongoing debate, really, that I'm having with someone else on apples. Ideally, if you didn't identify the exact type of apple it was, if you had to choose between a red apple and a green apple, which would you take?
Green.
Red.
They're both fine.
They're
I'm not
both
picky
fine.
like that.
Not based on color, but because I know the taste. The typical taste of each of them.
And green apples are too tart, man. I can't handle that shit.
Okay, Billy Fallon, you're both dead to me.
I like my fruit hard and crunchy. I eat my peaches rock hard. I eat my bananas a little bit green.
I'm with you, brother. I'm with you.
I like my fruit sweet and juicy.
I maintain that Red Delicious is the worst kind of apple.
Thank you.
Oh my god, does it bother you that you're wrong?
I would have been
It
executive
bothers me that you're a
officer
fool.
of baking soda volcanoes.
Unsubscribe.
Hey, you don't say that on stream, please, because we're trying to get Ryan to 1 million subscribers.
It's okay. We can joke about things. I'm also not being serious and calling people fools. You're okay, even if you're wrong.
Everyone listen to my Apple-related podcast. AppleTruth.com.
Also, there's Star Trek stuff happening, but whatever. Who cares?
Cosmic strings show up here because it was like that episode when the Enterprise was like stuck in a straight line.
And
So
they have
again,
that technobabble is like, oh, is that like a quantum film? It's like, no, that's a totally different thing. Here's the new explanation.
I love that, like, she tries to be, like, smart, and they just are like, no.
oh, and I saw a Ro here, so I was like, great, Roche does show up again.
Yeah.
8 episodes.
It's just calling out the fact that they have so much very similar technobabble. That can just mean anything the plot needs it to.
And look, she asked Ensign a question here, like...
That's the best thing she could do.
This is like when your boss's boss has no idea how to turn on their own computer.
That's exactly what it is, yes.
Wow. She did a good job here with turning on the power.
Wow.
I'm gonna follow that.
She did.
And also, O'Brien's mad here because like she solved the power problem with in an unorthodox way. It's like you don't realize the whole ship's out of service. We're not gonna follow the technical manual.
That's that's one of Ro's character traits is that she will ignore all things just to get shit done, which is fine, but it can get you in trouble with Starfleet. Pardon my French.
She's a loose cannon cop who doesn't play by the rules. She's a wild card. You'll be glad to have her in your deck.
She just hotwired the Enterprise.
And Major Kira is obviously also like that, sort of.
Yes.
I have to feel for
it's just Ensign Ro played by a different actress.
Essentially, it started that way anyway.
No.
Every enlisted man in the world has experienced being temporarily under the command of an officer who is really, really unqualified for the current situation.
Okay.
And as a fellow enlisted man, I have to feel for my fellow.
As an enlisted man, do you have all the specs and diagrams at home?
Wow, I wish I did. I wish I was a big enough nerd to own diagrams of the Enterprise D.
Okay. Worf's father is an enlisted man.
Let me check.
I recognize the reference.
Okay.
I love that scene.
But
Don't
call
me sir. I used to work for a living.
how much of a power surge could you handle Data? Like we're just using Data as a fuse overblown circuit here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Better him than Riker. He's more conductive.
I mean, that's debatable.
I feel like Data is easier to fix.
Yeah, that's that's also very true.
Yes,
also he's a conductor.
I'm kind of surprised.
He's a conductor.
Kind of surprised that Data didn't just rip a pipe off of the wall and say, "Here, let's use this instead."
Right.
Also, wait.
Also, the green
right behind Data, that sort of window thing to the circuitry has bars over it. Why is it barred off? Are they worried about people breaking into the circuit panel?
Yeah.
It's like when
window
you
bars.
It's like when you put a cage around a thermostat in a hotel room or something.
Why is Data's brain always full of lights? Also, note the belt we were discussing last week. Data's wearing the belt.
Oh yeah.
He's not wearing anything on the belt, but he's got the belt. Same for Riker.
They're doing the utility work.
Yeah, but they're not holding any tools.
Yeah. Why does he check his eyes? Like that's what you do for a person, not for an android.
But Data is a person.
No, I understand, but his pupils are not going to contract like ours will.
I mean, they actually might. His pupils probably contract to respond to different levels of light. He can probably contract them manually.
I think he'll be fine.
This must be the only time we ever see the Enterprise model with its lights off.
Yeah, I think so.
No, in the episode when they do
one more.
In the Baryon sweep, when Picard's the only one on the Enterprise and they're like shining that laser through.
Die Hard episode.
That's a different one. I was thinking of the one where they're investigating a missing Vulcan ship and they like turn off all the power in the supply depot to trick people into thinking they're
right with the bureaucrat that Troy kisses up to.
Right, and then aren't they all freezing to death on the Enterprise at one point?
Probably in this episode, actually.
Right.
We've been coming back.
Also, in the one with the Ferengi, like the first episode with the Ferengi and the Takan Empire, that I think the power goes out because of the Takan magical thing.
Wait,
Lore's pupils closed in Descent Part 2 and he died?
Thanks, guys.
I don't remember that detail, but I believe you. I just don't remember it that clearly.
Man, that jacket is all suede, like velveteen almost.
It's got to be really hot to wear.
Ryan, you're an
good because the ship is rapidly losing heat.
Well, that's what I was gonna ask. Why would the ship lose any heat? It wouldn't radiate much.
Where would it go to?
Outer space.
Well, in a vacuum, the primary way you lose heat is through radiation.
Which is incredibly slow.
I mean, the ship also has a lot of surface area because it's a disk.
That's what I was going to ask. And
still doesn't lose it that quickly.
That's what I was going to ask because, and I think I might have asked before, but what makes the actor so hot?
Like a human being, it's fully exposed to space without a spacesuit. It would take days to freeze. Days.
It's minus 200 degrees out there. Well, what do you mean? You'd freeze in seconds.
No, because radiation is an incredibly slow process.
It's not the question of a difference in temperature. It's a question of the transfer of heat.
Yeah,
you have nothing to give your heat away.
The standard methods of heat transfer are conduction and convection on Earth.
So you're telling me space isn't cold?
It's cold, but you can't feel it.
It's hard to make something cold in space. Space itself.
I would defer to you guys, but when I go outside on a snowy winter day and I were to hang
because
out
you're directly contacting the air. It's called convection and conduction.
Yeah,
because you have an atmosphere
space is cold in the meaning that there isn't much heat because there isn't much stuff to contain that heat. But that also means that there isn't much stuff to steal any heat from you if you go for a space walk.
Okay, I mean you're right. There is no convection and conduction going on, so.
Those are the two most efficient. So the fastest transfers of heat are in order are conduction, then it goes to convection, and the radiation is way lagging behind.
Okay.
So,
Thanks.
for example, like if you want to like de-ice something, you could just wait and let the air do it eventually, because the air has a certain amount of heat capacity. It can take the heat away from the surface. You can like soak it in water, and water has an absurd heat capacity, and that'll just suck all the heat out. But in space, there's literally zero heat capacity because there's nothing to suck the heat away from you because it's empty.
Okay. So, I think Soma, how about you and me go up to the space station? I'll give you a big push outside, and then we'll see.
You're still gonna die, but just for different reasons.
Yeah.
Jordy and
As I was saying, I don't know the exact length of time it would take, but it would be on the order of days to freeze in space.
Okay, so it's the oxygen you got to worry about, not the.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the low pressure.
Yes.
The low pressure.
Right. Oh yeah. Okay.
There's a lot of things that'll kill you in space. Also, depending on how
It's
close you
not
are to the sun,
temperature.
you might die from the excess radiation.
Yes.
Also, the Van Allen
Well,
belts, you might die from the excess radiation.
That is a minor caveat. If you're in direct solar radiation, you're actually incredibly hot.
Hmm. By the way, I really like this episode, like, even when I was a kid, because, like, they both did a lot of problem solving. And even now while I was watching it, I was like, you know, I love TNG. Go ahead.
The ship doesn't have power. How are they going to repressurize the bay? How are they going to open the door in the first place?
They're going to hang on for dear life.
Kyle Hill just did a video on this recently. But if it's saturated all the air, then all you need to do is get to the other end of the room, and then there's almost no force pushing you out of the bay.
Wait, who did a video on this?
Kyle Hill.
It's a YouTube
Does
channel.
he generally do Star Trek stuff or just like physics stuff?
Physics, pop culture physics.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So you weren't seeing another Star Trek channel.
Lore's allowed, because Lore's a friend of the show. You're allowed to watch Lore read. Yeah, this is the episode where they all freeze to death, so you guys are right. But what I was saying, that woman in the background behind Worf looks pretty messed up. No one's tending to her. Like, Keiko looks beautiful.
Main character.
Well, she's an extra, so
And she's pregnant over here, so. Oh, this is where Worf delivers the child.
Yeah.
Not a good time, Keiko.
Little Mog O'Brien.
I like that episode too because of problem solving, especially Crusher.
Well, they all almost freeze to death in this episode, so it's like, pretty gruesome.
Wait, how did they get through the door into this room?
Try to get you the captain.
She's sitting in the captain's chair. She's such a boss. She's an ensign.
Well, that's her role right now.
She
has to fulfill it.
She's also command. Sorry.
Yeah, the senior command personnel in the room.
Right. But like 2 episodes ago, she was like
captain.
She was like the officer that nobody wanted to sit with. Like
she works fast.
Yeah.
You're starting to understand why I identify with O'Brien here.
He doesn't even mention his wife, does he?
He did earlier.
They were arguing about the name.
Yeah.
He's trying to be a good, well, not an officer. He's trying to be a good crewman here.
Non-commissioned officer, yeah.
He definitely deserved a rank.
Yeah,
He's a
O'Brien's going
non-prone
places.
lieutenant.
You can tell.
This episode would actually make a very, very good Dungeons and Dragons type session.
This is interesting. He's got 2 pips on his collar.
Please, this is going to be worse than already what Ryan comes up with. It's going to be like, you have no way to get out because all the doors are closed. It's like, what do I do? But I was saying earlier, this is kind of a whole, applies to the whole series. Like, when I saw Crusher and Geordi in the cargo bay, and it's like a running thing. Like, I love TNG, and it's both a flaw and a strength of the show, but the series emphasizes Picard and Data, and especially the movies. So it's like, you kind of neglect all these other wonderful characters like Geordi, and even, like, I was just surprised to see Crusher and Geordi hanging out. I'm like, oh wait, that's just because this show is all about Crusher and Picard and Data.
Yeah, it's supposed to be about Carson Jordy.
They did try to break that trend in Discovery, didn't they? I mean, I didn't watch a lot of Discovery, but
they have made an effort to actually flesh out more of the bridge crew.
Yeah.
When they start singing here, we all have to sing along in unison.
I mean, they're my favorite characters in all of fiction, so I'm not complaining that we got Data and Picard like having an amazing relationship and his journey to becoming human. But you know, I mean, Crusher's great. Geordi's great.
Off now.
Very briefly about the bridge crew in Discovery, I think it comes from the criticism of the Star Wars prequels, where they're like, "Oh, can you even remember the names of people?" People who are criticizing Discovery, one thing they'll say sometimes is, "You don't even know any of the names of the people on the bridge." It's like, yeah, there's Detmer, Reese, there's Bryce, there's Roshakun, there's... What do you mean? You don't know the names of the people.
It's considerably more consistent than it is in TNG. Like every episode, there's a new bridge crew.
Well, and like it's a debate of like, are you setting it up to be a complete ensemble show, or are you setting it up to be a show with, you know, 2 or 3 primaries and then a secondary cast behind them? Because the original series of Star Trek was that it was Kirk, Spock, McCoy, you know, as your primary 3, and then everyone else behind them. The movies, I think, got a little more ensemble-ish, but maybe not all the way. Next Generation, I feel like, was still sort of built with Picard as the captain and Data as the Spock corollary, you know, as your primary 2. It became something else.
I was thinking more generally about like complaining about things because people say like, this has no explanation or this doesn't make any sense. When the show actually does totally make sense, it's just they haven't actually seen it.
Yeah, that's a different thing. Totally.
Ding ding dong.
So yeah, I was more like you hypothetical person might not know the names of the bridge crew, but that doesn't mean the show didn't actually develop them. You just didn't pay attention to it.
Yeah, but Ryan, you're also a massive nerd who actually pays attention to minutiae of lore.
They give them entire episodes.
I don't know. I didn't watch the show. I trust you.
That's what I'm talking about.
I trust your judgment. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm also saying that maybe you specifically are not the best measuring stick. You probably know the name of every extra in this season of Star Trek.
The only extra I know is Lieutenant J. She doesn't even technically have a name on the show. The people just made it up.
I'm not taking
Who?
Tracy.
Tracy!
Yeah. She's so funny. Keiko here is just like a great actor.
I might have a chance to get my girlfriend into Star Trek finally, specifically thanks to the Tracy intake. If it happens, it'll be entirely thanks to you.
Okay, you're welcome. Also, Gear, please respect Jay. She's a lieutenant, not an ensign. Lieutenant J.
Yes.
That stuff's important.
Yeah, I like because he never...
Keiko here, of course, played by Rosalind Chow, who very recently was in the live-action Mulan movie.
Now, does anybody know in real life if she had given birth at this time?
No, she's doing a great job though.
So she's acting something that she has not experienced. Then, okay.
I'm like Worf here because he's never given birth before to a baby.
Most men have not. Yeah.
Yeah,
with the exception of some people like
the Crusher is explaining what will happen here, and every single sentence that's coming out of her mouth is entirely wrong.
Yeah.
I looked it up. Doing the math, she did not have her first child until over a year after this episode aired. So she definitely was not pregnant at this time.
Okay. Memory Alpha.
It could have been
J. Rank.
It could have been a long
Lieutenant
pregnancy.
Junior grade.
Oh, okay. She's Lieutenant Junior.
It's really hard to tell because You can't see it in this picture, but she has one gold pip and one black pip, which is hard to see against the black outfit.
So colloquially referred to as lieutenant. Close enough.
Lieutenant junior grade J.
JG for short. But I don't think I could hang on to a bar if there was like the vacuum of space sucking me out.
Well, first of all, they're on the wrong side of the ladder. They should be on the opposite, so that they're not trying to,
Yes.
That would be easier now that you say. You just ruined the scene for me.
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Otherwise,
I grew up loving this episode.
Otherwise, the ladder acts as a very, very coarse net, and it works.
This is the dumbest fucking design. You have to go to 2 separate panels to do this.
Yeah.
Her hand just happened to hit the exact correct button.
Yeah. If she had been 2 inches shorter, they'd be dead.
And the show would really be about Picard and Data.
Okay, let's settle this once and for all. According to Memory Alpha, who started her career as an ensign. By later in the show, she held the rank of lieutenant junior grade, so she got a promotion. She was an ensign by this episode. I think by this episode, by now probably she is in lieutenant junior grade. She's moving up in life.
Right, she still got paid the same as
her personally.
Worf isn't, and Worf isn't.
So just so you can chase after her more.
Roll Iron
Ro
saves the
is
day
so
again.
mad. She's so mad.
Oh, maybe she will be an admiral in Picard season 2. Oh, can we see Admiral J? That'd be amazing. She doesn't even have to have a line. We can just have her in the background as Admiral J. That's fine.
She'll just nod.
I'd rather see Admiral Ro.
Let's just give her
Oh,
command.
I want Admiral Ro.
How would that work, though? She literally joined the Maquis and betrayed the...
Yeah.
How's that gonna happen?
Right.
What a loss.
It's when
She comes back.
It's when the Cardassians joined the Federation and all those territories are Federation anyway.
Oh,
Man,
she's just like she's a renegade captain somewhere. Like you could do that.
The Troy onesie is
I
probably
did it.
the worst Troy outfit.
This
I think all our
this neck effect not the best.
I like it.
The
Yeah,
dress
It's
Chakotay
never-
was Maquis too,
Wait.
but I mean, Chakotay had sort of special circumstances.
Yeah,
I don't think they did have
There-
anything
we,
that neck
we
effect.
learn a lot about Chakotay.
Do we, though? Do we really learn a lot about Chakotay? I mean, we see a lot
Well,
of Chakotay.
some of his motivations, I guess. I don't know.
He's like a third wheel.
We do learn about him that he's far from the bones of his people.
Yeah, and
It just occurred to me that Data's now doing a tech support call with Riker.
Yes.
Can someone explain to me the purpose of all those lights in his brain?
it's a positronic net.
Yeah, no, I realize, but it makes no sense at all.
Oh,
Why?
Data it's
That
on sour.
face.
Oh, look, he has LEDs on his neck too, underneath.
That's,
Yeah,
that's
those-
just what electronics look like in the future. They are very blinky.
I mean, from a production standpoint, it looks future and spacey is sort of the reason. But yeah,
And it'd look really weird if you opened up his skull and there was just like meat. So you have to have something.
It would be weird.
That's
yeah.
for me,
If there's no lights on, it's like the lights are on but no one's home.
Antimatter confinement failure imminent. That sounds less than ideal. Oh, it's not imminent anymore. It's fine.
I like to keep my antimatter confined, personally.
But Picard is great with children, as this episode confirms.
Yeah, don't apologize. It was a complete guess, Ro. She had no idea what the right decision was. It was a 50-50.
Honestly, this is a bad ending. Troy should learn that her rank is meaningless and she's a glorified therapist.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious. Officers who
Yeah.
are not actually command officers should learn a lesson sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe have like some random ensign die because of a decision she made.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, this episode's already a lot. I don't think we needed like a person to
But
die
nobody
to make
even
it more
died.
dramatic.
Oh no, someone did die.
No.
We lost Lieutenant Monroe.
So why was
the Lieutenant Monroe on the bridge? Yeah.
Why was the swing shift on the bridge and nobody in engineering?
Because Picard was doing his thing with the kids.
And Ensign Geordi had some singing to do.
All bets are off. It was like a skip day.
And by the way, we established with Wesley, Picard hates children on the bridge, so I don't understand why he would call them up to the bridge to take them down to the hydroponic bay.
Didn't they bring Picard Day or something?
You may now give birth. Thank you, Worf.
Congratulations.
What's the?
He acts like he doesn't even. He acts like he doesn't even know who.
No, it is interesting that
that's what
part of the medical training is you have a simulated birth.
It's also kind of even outside of Starfleet. I'm sorry. It's also kind of
Attention at the front door. Yeah.
it's also kind of odd to me to think that even before Starfleet or whatever, Worf never was involved in any birth or anything. You know, he not like he would be in an operation room.
He
if
probably
he was 12,
actively avoided it.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys know, like in the DS9 episode Ascension, they reference back to this when Keiko's pregnant again, and Worf plans a vacation to Earth during the time around when she's due, just so he doesn't have to help the pregnancy.
I'll be back visiting my parents.
Yeah.
Far away.
They ask him. Yeah.
I love those deep cut jokes. Are great.
Do you suppose that Rosalind Chow actually just, while she was pregnant here, do you suppose Rosalind actually just gave birth during the episode? Is this the real?
Sure, why not?
I assume this is the real thing, that they actually made her do her baby here.
Usually
on set.
The mother also needs someone's hand to grab and like, but because like it helps to like grip something or like break something while you're pushing out.
Now, this special effect here, I have no idea. Was this an actual relatively newborn baby that they used and made up with?
I would think that's a real baby that they covered in goo. Yeah.
I can tell
it's
it's
not
not
actually newborn. It's just
not newborn.
Small.
I can tell
Sounds
it's I can tell it's not. I can tell it's not a prosthetic or robot. I can tell it's a real baby.
Yeah, they didn't American Sniper it.
It's much
that's
younger than most TV babies.
Yeah, it's not a newborn, but that baby's like a couple weeks old at most.
Yeah.
Oh, you're like a month maybe, or a month and a half.
They probably just dolls.
I wish I was that baby. As soon as I came out of the world, I was on Star Trek TNG.
Wow.
Yeah, but then you're a baby.
Imagine what kind of a conversation starter that is. Imagine the lines. Jesus.
Yeah, it would not lead to the most. It would lead to
Marissa's boots here are a little bit closer to a proper size. They're not perfect, but they're a lot better.
It's like the
again.
Star Trek being signing autographs for $5 a pop at Comic-Con. Yeah.
It's like the kid who was on the. It's like the kid who was as a baby on the cover of Nirvana's Nevermind album, and then when he grew up, he gave an interview saying that how embarrassed he was by it.
Yeah. Well, like the kid in the first Friday the 13th movie, like will go to cons and he has a band called First Jason. Like it's so pathetic.
But so when Wesley's on the ship and he must know who Wesley is because he knows who Jack and Beverly is. What's this child doing on my bridge? You know, and he's so against it.
Why does that kid still have the rank pip? He didn't take him
That's
back.
what I just.
They all have them.
do.
But Troy had time to change.
That's a field commendation. That's valid.
Yeah,
it's got rank now.
That is legally binding.
They got a commendation now.
That's a really
He
good.
winked at her.
That's
I
a
don't
really
think that
good
particular plaque
plaque.
was in Picard's vault in Picard.
Picard likes
Next
kids.
disaster, those kids are going to outrank a lot of officers. It'll be great.
Frank O'Brien.
Strictly speaking, O'Brien has to call them sir. that's
true.
the last episode for today. But
it is.
That was good.
No, we're doing Threshold next, right?
No.
No.
So
You
Bros
can watch Threshold.
No.
Next week is the game.
Next week we get the really, 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 really good episodes.
I just realized what happened.
What did I know?
Everyone except for me have daylight savings.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my! Israel has different daylight savings. It's shit.
No, it hasn't gone back in UK either.
From holidays.
Everybody-
UK's end of the month.
Everybody but the United States has
Yeah.
something different.
Realize
What do you mean
what
other
happened?
than the United States? What do you mean?
I said everybody but the United States has something different for time change.
What? Wait, but what is? Who's outside the United States? What does that even mean?
There's only 2 countries in the world.
The United
America.
States and Mexico.
Right.
All right.
And
so,
I showed up at my usual time, and I'm like, wait, it's not Ensign Row. I felt so
Oh,
just now. Oh my god!
I'm so sorry for you, man. It was a
So
really
the
good
game,
setup.
Looking forward to Ensign Row. Oh my
Unification
God.
Part 1
it's okay.
and 2.
You got it for tomorrow. If you would like to join us tomorrow,
You
And
can
a
also
matter
watch
of
the
time.
stream.
you can also watch.
Just go
the
back
stream.
and watch the recording.
and just start yelling at the TV.
The game is foreshadowing the electronic addiction that everybody will have in society once we get iPhones in our hands.
To get our
Yes.
second and last appearance of Ashley Judd.
So the Molly, who we just got the birth of, Molly's actual child actor, I think her name is Hannah Hatay.
Yes, Hate. Yeah.
Hatay.
Potato.
She was also on an episode of Kitchen Nightmares. She was, I think she was waitstaff
Oh, snap.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember
on
that.
that,
yeah.
that Gordon Ramsay show where he
I
goes and
watched
like
it, but
yells
I
at people.
remember from that.
Yeah, yeah.
You donkey.
Hannah Hatay, Kitchen Nightmares.
Get out of my kitchen.
He only yells at people when he does his shows in the US. If you've ever seen the UK versions, he's a lot less
Yeah,
of
he's
a
chill.
It's a
No,
lot
but-
more productive.
In his restaurant in real life, he will defenestrate you.
He
If you're
never
like-
he never yells at the waitstaff.
If you're gonna
Oh, there she
defenestrate
is.
someone,
There's
he's gotta find a
Molly.
window first.
I've
That's
actually
Molly.
subscribed to one of the restaurant owners he visited, the Mama Sherry from Brighton, I believe.
Yes.
And then in Unification Part 1 and 2, we get Spock,
Yes.
which is,
May
also
he rest in
Sarek,
peace.
which is, right, so Leonard Nimoy and, what's Sarek's name?
Mark Leonard.
Thank you so much. Leonard Sarek mind melds with Picard, and that leaves a lasting impression on the character.
Oh right, it's a good episode. I forgot about it.
Yeah, it's one of the best episodes of Next Generation.
And do we know what's coming tomorrow for DS9?
Tomorrow for
Wait,
Deep
but
Space
we
Nine is
also
gonna
have
be
a matter
Nor
of
the Battle
time.
Nor the Battle to the Strong, where Jake runs away from a battle because he's like 18 and he's a writer and he's used to like getting everything he wants, and suddenly he's being shot at and it's very stressful.
Yeah.
And people are dying
War
all around him. Yeah, not
That's a good
great.
war episode.
It's a war episode. And then there's the assignment with Evil Keiko.
Yep, that's a tricky one. Done.
And then Trials and Tribulations, which everybody knows what that is.
That's my favorite.
That's tomorrow.
Right
Trials
there.
and Tribulations is the 3rd episode.
Be there, be
1993
square.
blue screening.
And but for next week, TNG, the last episode will be A Matter of Time, in which we get a 29th century time traveler who
Quote-unquote.
visits us.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
played by Matt Frewer, aka Max Headroom himself. Yeah.
He's Professor
Who was supposed to be played by
Rasmussen?
Robin Williams.
Rasmussen?
Yeah, supposed to be played by Robin Williams.
That's right.
Oh, wow.
That'd be weird.
I still wish it had been.
I like Matt Frewer, but yeah, that would have been amazing for sure.
No, this guy's better. But
Yeah, I think
He's a good, yeah.
For the way the character ended up being portrayed, I think he's a better fit because he's a lot creepier.
yeah, he's like a fraud.
I don't know.
I think Williams would have played it his own way
Right.
for sure. Good.
I've never.
I'm just surprised that when I
Robin
said
Williams.
Evil Keiko, everyone didn't go, you mean every episode she's in?
She's not evil. She's
No, she's not.
Oh.
Oh, sorry. Speaking of which, in the news today, there's a rumor that Colm Meaney might actually come to discover Picard or something. So
I mean, he is the most important person in Starfleet.
Thank you, Ryan.
Just a couple days ago, I saw an interview with him that said he had no interest in coming back.
Why not?
Thank you, Gyrinx.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you, Kevin.
Okay,
I mean, you're kind of doing my outro for me, but I'm not done here.
My dream is for O'Brien to come back, and his only scene will be someone calling him to cancel plans. We cut to him picking up, the communicator and being, oh, okay, no problem at all. And then you pull back to a wide shot, and he's like laid out an entire spread of food and like decorations and like gone all out. And Riker and whoever like had to cancel plans on him, and he just gets this disappointed look. And that's his only scene in the series. That's my goal.
That'd be funny.
Okay, so here's what Colm Meaney has said about Picard. There's no talking about returning that I'm aware of, no. If there's a good and valid reason for him to pop up and it makes dramatic sense and all that, yeah. If there was an opportunity for O'Brien to show up, sure, I'd be happy. I'm very fond of Patrick. It would be lovely to see him, lovely to work with him again. But no, there's no talking about it that I'm aware of.
Wow, so he's open to the idea. That's it. That's the gist.
Yeah.
Which is pretty much
it's interesting. So the headlines were like, "There's one person who doesn't want to return."
Yeah. I don't know. In journalism, I think they called it a non-story.
So I don't see why he would say no if he was offered the job.
Exactly. No actor ever says, no, I wouldn't take that, unless like there's some serious bad blood. Like, they're always giving non-committal answers like that. Work.
That sounds like the response that somebody would give in a Q&A session at a convention in person.
Exactly.
The way that it was worded.
Or like, would you do another season of the show that was canceled? They never will say no, no matter what the actual prospects are.
Would you like to have a stable contract? Nah.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Is Picard worth a watch?
You have to go into it with the understanding that it's not about Starfleet. It's not about Starfleet at all.
Is it about Picard?
Picard is not the same character either.
I don't know.
I'm hesitant. I love Lower Decks. Lower Decks is brilliant.
Yeah, Ryan, somebody in the chat pointed out that your title says episodes 4, 5, and 6.
Nope, it's absolutely correct. Don't worry about it. There's nothing wrong with it. I would never make a mistake in the counting. It's perfect.
Thank you, Soma. Also.
Okay.
Have a great day.
Now we're done. So everybody just go away.
Thanks, Ryan.
You're not my dad.
Require solitude.
I require solitude.
Chief executive officer in charge of potatoes. Yeah.
Executive officer in charge of telling people to go away.
Stay woke. Bye.
See, this is not a job for an officer. This is a job for a sergeant. Everyone out.